Welcome to Ecomm Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we believe ads are awesome, ignorance is expensive, and the American dream is alive and well on the interwebs. Today, it is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026 in the year of our Lord. We're coming to you live and in living color from Toronto, Canada.
Let's go.
Live at Shopify's .dev. We have got an absolutely jam-packed show for you today. We're going to be joined by Adam Ellington, CCO at Overdose. We're going to be joined by Vanessa Nugent, founder and CEO of Allure Commerce, Tamir Eden, co-founder at 40, and also an entire slew of incredible team members from Shopify.
So many.
Atlee Clark, VP of Partnerships, Helen Mao, Director of Product at Retail, Harley Finkelstein, shout out Harley Finkelstein.
Let's go.
Who's going to be joining us live on the show. Vanessa Lee, VP of Product, Eitan Seidman, Ben Sahil, Ilya Grigorik, and more. What can I say? But what an absolutely incredible beginning to this conference. Words from you, Colin?
Unbelievable vibe here. You can see the dedication and the build out here. You have all the different marketing categories. You have marketing over here. You have Sidekick. You have commerce. You have back office. You have selling online. You have all of the dedicated pieces that build up what Shopify is today. And you feel the energy in the room. You can't even get a ticket into this room if you tried. The entire thing's sold out. There's a massive after party after this that we might be attending that has 800 plus people. It is bananas. The vibe is electric, and Shopify vibes are through the roof.
I have to say, I don't think I have been at a better conference with just a setup like this.
It's crazy.
I almost wish that we could turn the camera around so that everybody could see what is happening in here. I think the big thing for me, we've seen a number of incredible partners, like everybody, a who's who of partners are here. We've seen Yash, we've seen Adam Catane, we've seen Chris Geis, we've seen so many inside of our ecosystem that are living and helping merchants thrive in the Shopify ecosystem. I think the big question for me coming out of our keynote that we had this morning with Atlee Clark and Vanessa Lee is, are you building for the future of commerce?
100%.
That's the big question, I think, coming out of this. And if you are tied in with Shopify, then you are.
Absolutely.
You are building for the future.
Yeah, the future is, and they've laid it out in the keynotes before us, agentic commerce is building with agents in mind, building with the fact that agents are going to be doing a lot of these purchasing and selling behaviors. And so building with that in mind, and Shopify is very intentionally leading at the forefront of that. And it's very fun to see. The build outs they have been doing, the keynotes they have been pushing out, focusing on agentic commerce, and some of the stats that we have heard already, the fact that potentially agentic shopping converts 80% better than organic search is banana sandwich.
It's crazy. So that to me really stood out. So Vanessa Lee, she got up and talked. One of the first statistics that she hit, I know a lot of us in e-com, when we think about AI, we think about LLMs, really what we're thinking about usually is search 2.0.
100%.
In a kind of a colloquial way. I know there's more to it, but a lot of times that's what we're thinking about is this next evolution of search in e-commerce. What's it going to be like? How's it going to help my business or hurt my business? It's crazy to think about converting 80% better than organic search and how that's affecting all of the merchants and businesses inside of our ecosystem on the internet today. I think if I could have told you 5 years ago, hey, isn't organic search awesome? You know, you've been investing for SEO for years, free eyeballs, right? Doesn't cost you ad dollars. If I could tell you there's going to be a new developing mechanism, a new developing path on the internet that's going to be similar, but it's going to allow you to convert 80% better than what you're getting on SEO right now, I think everybody would have been flabbergasted.
Yeah, they would be like, where can I get that immediately from my store? I mean, it's crazy to see that. And also the numbers for that just keep rising month over month on the total number of conversions that are actually pushed through that. And so we're seeing this start to basically come mass adoption from, the typical customer is starting to actually build out discovery within these LLMs. And Shopify is working with the best LLMs in the entire marketplace. OpenAI, Microsoft, all the best darlings that you can think of. Shopify has partnered with those to make sure that your Shopify store ranks.
I think there has been some conjecture. There's been some conjecture, agentic commerce, like, is this thing really real? Is there hype around it? There's been bright minds in our space have said, I don't know if there's that much of a there, maybe in a number of years. I totally disagree. And I think that the numbers here reveal themselves to be the case, that it is real, it is here, it is now. And of course, Shopify is building the roadmap for that to be actual for all of the people in our space. And just this one factor for it converting 80% better than traditional search, to me, it says it's here and this is what we're building for. And it's what we should be moving into as merchants, also as partners, as service providers. It's what we should be enabling.
Yeah.
Especially in the side of our space where ad dollars only rise, where ad costs only get more expensive. Like, this is the path that we should be building for now that will reap great rewards in the future.
I would dare to say that this is kind of remnants of 2017 Facebook ads, where people were like, hey, this is going to be a really big deal. Like, and people were like, I don't know about that. I'm not sure, man. I don't know how this Facebook ads is going to sprinkle out.
That was a big deal.
That was a huge deal. If you just decided to dump every piece of budget into 2017 Facebook ads, you would be so far ahead. And I think the same exact thing is going to take place here with agentic shopping, where the brands that move first, the brands that are focused on agentic shopping and are also powered by Shopify, are going to be light years ahead of those who then, once it hits mainstream, once it becomes the thing to do, you are so behind the 8 ball at that point.
Another few points that Vanessa brought out that I thought was incredibly significant, okay, especially inside of apparel, which I've spent much of my career selling apparel on the interwebs.
Yeah.
There is a vibe factor.
Vibes.
That is hard to get an AI to understand. At least that's what I would think.
Yeah.
What's cool. The example we use, like, what's appropriate to wear to a wedding.
Yep.
What kind of vibe do I give off while I am wearing said thing? Shopify is now building to accommodate for those kind of fuzzier attributes that would help the LLMs understand, like, what we're actually looking for when I'm looking for a particular kind of style of cowboy hat, etc. There's fuzzier attributes at play here that are helping all of the LLMs, etc., understand what customers are actually looking for, and then flattening the funnel as they help them discover those things inside of those experiences.
A great example that she brought up is the fact that these LLMs are fantastic right now for, traditional electronic consumer goods, because it's very tactical, detail oriented, focused entirely on text and specs. It's like, hey, this is the best camera for this situation. It's very cut and dry. Here's the actual text and specs behind that. But now their focus is vibes moving forward. How do we curate around the vibes of, okay, this dress is going to look better in that time period, or this is going to look better for this event, or you should probably focus on kind of these hues right here for the event that you're trying to go to, instead of just, okay, here's the specs, this is the best option for you. They're trying to curate the vibes commerce right now.
The truth is, if you can be cool,
you got to be cool.
You can make lots of money on the internet.
It's so true.
And cool is such an amorphic thing. It's mysterious. It's here, it's now, it's gone. But if you can get a stranglehold on that thing, if you can wrap your arms around it, there's a lot of money to be made on the interwebs. And I find it fascinating. That Shopify is building tooling around that to capture vibes inside of the internet, which one would think that is only truly a human thing that one can understand and curate. Maybe not so much anymore.
No, we're in the vibes. We're fully in the vibes economy. I'm excited for it. And also another really amazing keynote that we saw was Atlee talking about the apps. And one of the big pushes that Shopify has made is this app time review, where they have compressed that time from 40 days down to 4 days.
It's crazy.
And so I think this is such a great extension onto the partner relationship. The fact that they're basically saying, hey, I see you. I see all this work that you're putting into building this app for our ecosystem. We're going to compress that window down from call it a month down to just under a week. And you're going to be able to go live. You're going to be able to push your app out into the world. You're going to be able to have brands actually use it, and you're going to get paid for that, which is incredible. You are empowering that, one-man team, the guy that is just vibe coding and trying to build the coolest app for Shopify brands. That's that true empowerment right there.
I think that this is it's an incredible development for our space, because I have seen on the timeline over the past few weeks and months, like, hey, I'm still waiting. I want to get my app approved. Like, can I see it go through? Like, what is going on there? And to see that improvement be shrunk over the past few months from 40 days average wait time to 4 days is truly incredible, while maintaining quality, built for Shopify, what's happening inside of the App Store. Very encouraging, on top of the new profit sharing that Shopify is doing with their partners, really bringing everybody on the same side of the table. Partners, merchants, Shopify, everybody wins. There is an infinite pie to be had. I thought this was this is a great terminology, an infinite pie to be had, bringing everybody on the same side of the table.
Yeah, and I will say I built my own Shopify app myself, and when that was published live, it was one of the coolest moments you have as someone building that, putting that together for weeks, and just that tick of approval that you can see it live kind of in the world, kind of floating around and being like, I built that, and now it's kind of going around, bumping into things, brands are using it. It's one of the coolest experiences you could possibly have as an entrepreneur, is that it's so fulfilling.
Incredible. I will say, last note here before we bring the first of our many guests to come on here. Sidekick is real. Sidekick is real. And
he's cool.
And he is cool. Cool. I wonder, there's so much happening with Sidekick now. App developers, partners can now integrate with Sidekick as merchants ask for more of Sidekick's capabilities. Partners can now integrate with Sidekick and do more for merchants there. I almost wonder, like, how much Sidekick becomes in the future. Sure. There's the voice capabilities. There's the asking for custom reports. I think we saw, like, there's been 32 million reports pulled from Sidekick, 25 million theme edits. I mean, I almost wonder, and of course, we'll have a number of the member of the teams here with us over the next couple of hours. I wonder how much Sidekick just becomes core to the entire, like, Shopify experience over the coming months and years. Man, it just feels like it's such a winsome, easy experience inside of the store for a merchant, for an operator, for people who are hands-on keyboard. Yeah, I'm interested to see what comes of Sidekick and how that continues to evolve for all the partners in our ecosystem.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how some of the merchants and folks using Sidekick are just going to Bane mask up with a microphone and just talk to text with Sidekick, as we're seeing a lot of the vibe coders right now just basically hook themselves up as quickly as possible to microphones so that they can build out as quick as possible. I think that's the way Sidekick's going to go for all the merchants here.
Maybe the keyboard goes away entirely.
Keyboard goes away.
Maybe the keyboard goes away.
Just talking.
Maybe that is a thing of the past. Okay. First of our many illustrious guests coming up this afternoon. Everybody, welcome into the show, Adam Ellington, CCO of Overdose. We must get him inside of this show. Get in here, Adam. Get in here. Yeah, a little boost there.
Yeah,
a little boost for you, Adam. Adam, welcome to the show, brother. Tell us, where are you coming from? Where'd you fly here from? Did you come all the way from down under, my friend?
I did. So first off, thanks for having me on the show. Absolutely. Really excited to spend 15, 20 minutes with you both. Yes, I'm from down under, from New Zealand. So I spent a good 20 odd hours on uncomfortable planes making my way over here.
That's a long flight, 20 hours.
Adam, tell us a little bit about Overdose, kind of what you're doing over there. We dove a little bit into it before the show. Talk to us about what you're building at Overdose.
Yeah, thank you. So look, Overdose, we're a end-to-end commerce agency. So we're a team of about 150 people spread across APAC. most of the work we do is involving strategy, designing, building, sites and shipping that for clients. But probably 70% of our work actually spans ongoing. So trading merchants and enabling them to tackle new technology and new challenges in their respective, markets or fields. About half of what we do is B2B. And the other half, the shiny half, is B2C.
The shiny half. I like the shiny half. Yeah. Sometimes I think there's more money on the non-shiny
There's
half.
definitely more money.
That's absolutely right. Everyone loves the sexy logos, and that's what draws a lot of the talent in these days. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of the complexity and nuance in terms of digitization of services actually around the unsexy, and that's where B2B, wholesale, manufacturing all fits in.
Awesome. Now, Adam, you're going to be talking here at DotDev. Is that right? You got a little.
Yes. So we have a talk coming up tomorrow, talking around. So our talk tomorrow is around how AI has effectively changed our business. What we've seen is probably the risks and the hurdles that are facing virtually every agency inevitably. But our take on it is it's more of an opportunity and something that we can all capitalize and win from when we share learnings and talk through, the changes, the change management that needs to go through, and also small part of it's the technology.
Small part's the technology.
Small part's the technology.
I would think that's the big part. That's the small part.
I think it's easy to assume that technology is going to be, it's obviously critical, right? But it's not as simple as just bolting on a bunch of Claude licenses or enabling a pocket of your team to be empowered with, ChatGPT or Codex. What we've found through our organization is that the change management on the human side is actually the most difficult. So
interesting.
Taking people through that journey, leading it from the top down, and also being open to what new things come out of the woodwork as you're building and as you're actually adopting your model to be ready for the future.
Now, Adam, I think you work exclusively with Shopify Plus merchants. Am I right?
The vast majority of our work is now Shopify. So
that's incredible. I mean, what do you have to deal with in the fact that, Shopify Plus merchants are very large? How are you dealing with the fact that, you're impacting a very large business? How do you kind of navigate that?
It's an interesting question. So historically, a lot of the conversations used to be very, functionality led. And in an agency, such as ourselves, we actually decouple a lot of the conversations with these merchants away from the technology, but actually around, the organization, the goals that are, imperative to them, but focusing even more left field to that now as well. What's the upstream, mechanics that we can influence? What that means though for Shopify is that we can solution the platform and the tooling around it to the merchants with a depth of understanding, like genuine understanding, rather than just looking at a text box set of features and saying, does your business do X, Y, and Z? Right. Really flips the script.
Yeah, I love that.
Tell me this, Adam, I think the great thing about agencies is that you get such a wide perspective on what is happening in the market, different verticals, et cetera. Sometimes I feel like brands, of course, I've been on every side of it, but I feel like brands kind of live like a frog in a well. They only see, their sky, If you had to offer advice for, merchants, particularly Shopify, maybe on the Shopify B2B side, or who are using agentic, for go-to-market, et cetera. Well, what advice would you offer there?
The advice I'd offer merchants is probably to invest time in the communities that exist around the edges. So, whether it's B2B, e-commerce association or, retail sort of leader forums, actually getting that breadth of perspective, not just from agencies and not just from internal stakeholders, but trying to get as much exposure to other people that are fighting, in many cases, similar or the same battles. And I think there's a lot of inherent knowledge that can come out of those, chats, whether it's over a beer or a coffee, but actually just immersing yourself, taking away
I love it. Adam, what do you love about building in this ecosystem specifically? Like you're building specifically around Shopify, everything that Shopify is doing. They're pushing so many updates out. What do you love about building around that?
Honestly, how quick it's moving.
It's moving so quick.
Fast, right?
Fast.
It's mental how fast everything's evolving. And I guess what I really appreciate with that is you get to spend time with people that have this, affinity to new, to emerging, to innovation, and it makes it really fulfilling, right? So every day can be genuinely different. It's around not just solving problems, but actually thinking around what are the problems that are going to be faced, tomorrow and next year for these organizations. So yeah, you get in some pretty wild rabbit holes, and you get to think pretty big. And there's an appetite for innovation amongst the merchants, the agencies, the partners, the ecosystem.
Yeah. Shopify merchants move fast. I would say they are the quickest among anyone around.
Well, so I totally agree. I don't know a chicken or egg there. I don't know, which one comes first. I think part of that comes from being on Shopify and absorbing the, hey, you know what? Like, it's possible to move fast.
Yeah.
Like it's possible to, what do I want to see happen with my theme? Let me talk to Sidekick. Instead of, I don't know, let's put that off till Q3. Let's put that off till Q1 of next year. Some of that I think comes from influence on the platform.
Absolutely. I would add as well, I think that rate of, speed or time to value is just going to continue to accelerate. AI is a enabler in that, whether it's agency-led or merchant-led or platform-led, but people are going to no longer have these 6-month wait times to getting something, design spec shipped. These incremental kind of, launches I'd expect to be seeing, rapidly, week apart, people being able to take feedback, prototype, iterate, and move on. And our clients are starting to expect that already, and it's changed the way in which we sell, changed the way in which we can take people through that journey, and I guess get buy-in.
Adam, could you dive into that a little bit more? I mean, you're talking about how it's changing your agency specifically. How is your agency kind of shifting with AI? How are you guys using AI internally? How are you guys using AI to actually improve merchants and build out these things for merchants?
We need some teeth.
We need some teeth.
We need some teeth there. I know you got something in there.
You got the sauce.
So AI for us has been institutionalized through every layer of the business, and it was a probably journey we set out maybe 2 years ago to start it effectively toying with.
2 years ago?
Wow. About 2 years ago, when we started using ChatGPT, we sort of realized, look, this is some crazy shit, and it's going to change the way in which we operate. And excuse my language, but it is. It's really, it's mind-blowing what it's capable of. And at that stage, we thought that innovation might just happen in pockets, right? So we set up the Slack channels of AI cool shit and AI leaders in the business. And we saw great work come out of that, but it didn't actually change the fabric of how we operate. So that sort of bottom-up approach, we took a step back from, re-architected it to be top-down. So every leader in the business then had to have a mandate across their desk saying, look, they had to own AI within their disciplines and their team. That involves training, it involves procurement, and it involves how we actually work with our team. So going through whether it's scoping, design, development, all the way through analytics, business intelligence, and the actual day-to-day trading has all started to have some inflection of AI giving value, giving meaning to what we're doing. The next, I guess, iteration of that is then how do we turn those into genuinely agentic workflows, right? So issue or something happens over here, what's happening in the middle that's serving that up as a proactive recommendation to our team or to another agent to pick up and run with.
Wow. Okay. Adam's AI coded right now.
Yeah, you definitely are. You definitely are. Okay, so that's especially what I like to hear. That's what interests me is like you've got some kind of process now. Starting things over here, it's built into the processes of your business. But then it's like, okay, where here in the middle can we go from having another agentic workflow, pick this up, on the design process, or, maybe it was listening to that call that we had with said client last week. And now, it's causing us to remember like, hey, you dropped the ball on this specific project. Totally. I mean, that's what it sounds like you're describing. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yes. And some of the more interesting ones would be, just as an example, we've got a project that we've worked on with Google, and effectively we're analyzing all of the performance of a client's web channel and creating new content programmatically that's then just multivariate testing live. So it's taking information from Shopify, from a Google Analytics, from Meta, from all these other channels, and it might realize, hey, somebody in Canada is actually more receptive to this image of a chair with pot plants in it. whereas somebody in New York likes a more, luxury aesthetic of the fireplace, etc. So it'll be dynamically changing the content that's then running out through ad channels to drive greater, profitability and return on ad spend, or profitable return on ad spend.
Wow.
Ah.
Adam flexing on us a little bit there, saying, working directly with Google to make sure that we get this rocking and rolling for our brand.
Small, up and coming
startup. I hope they make it. Yeah, they're gonna do
now,
it.
That I love what you're describing there, because creating those various variations, a multiplicity of outcomes for different areas and specific locations and what people appeal to, and then be able to programmatically do that. That's fascinating. I mean, I think that's where everybody wants to get to, needing more ad creative, than ever on platforms like Meta, et cetera. I mean, what you're describing there is fascinating.
Yeah, and I think it's just a byproduct of when you enable your team and provide them with, the grounding, the tools, the capability, but then you have a culture of being innovative and AI first, means that these ideas that somebody in the business might have, we can actually invest in and go and build out into something that can be generally rolled out across our clients and into other ecosystems. So that's the shift. And when I say that there's opportunity, it's not just all doom and gloom with AI coming for our jobs and for our throats.
Yeah.
These are the things that can come out of the woodworks.
Could you dive into maybe one of those ideas that somebody had within, and then you actually implemented it, say within the, a website or within actual ad creative, along those lines, where you heard it from the team and you were able to actually work through that and then push it out into a client pretty soon?
Yeah, the example I just touched on is a product that we've launched called Creative, and that's probably the best example in it.
Yeah.
It was one of our UX and design team that were spitballing some ideas with the analytics and data guys, and they thought there has to be a better way to be more responsive to creative media and the needs of it, right? We know that creative's hard to produce,
Yeah.
costly,
Yeah.
but also that everybody's got a subjective difference in terms of what's good to them. So to be able to actually use the data underlying it to then go and test, iterate, learn, and then continuously optimize across formats, geographies, devices, etc. That's just one of those products. We've done a lot in terms of just even our Shopify and development practices, right? This is probably not unique to half of the agencies in the room, where everybody's looking at, how do you one-shot a Figma design system into a strong front-end solution? But these are things that we've been able to take in-house and do, and then actually start to train our clients through, how do you take this product? We call this one Agency OS, but how do you take this and do some of the stuff internally? So it's around the empowerment of our clients to be less reliant on us.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Agency OS. I feel like other agencies would like that if you want to potentially whitelist that out to some other agency folks, Adam.
Adam, we appreciate you making the time to join us, brother. Tell us, man, where to find you, where to follow you, where people can get started with Overdose, should they so desire. Give us the whole list, brother.
Sure, should they desire. Overdose.digital is probably the best spot to find us, and I'm available on LinkedIn as Adam Ellington.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Incredible.
You're the man, Adam. We appreciate you. Thank you for
very
coming.
much.
Live at .dev in Toronto, Canada. We have the one and only Vanessa Nugent.
I'm feeling luxurious already.
I'm feeling very luxurious. Vanessa is a founder and CEO of Allure Commerce. She has a particular capability and niche with luxury brands. I think we'd all like to work with luxury brands.
Yeah.
My biggest question is, how do you get started with those clients?
Yeah.
I think you have to be luxurious yourself.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah. We need to bring her inside of the show. Let's all give her a very warm welcome. Everybody, welcome Vanessa Nugent, founder and CEO of Allure Commerce. Vanessa, welcome to the show. Appreciate you making the time to join us.
Thank you. Where else would I want to be right now?
Exactly.
Where else would you else would you want to be?
Here.
Vanessa, I'd love for you to give just a little backstory on Allure and how you got started working with so many incredible luxury brands. Like how did you get here to this point?
Well, I think it's you grow up somewhere in Europe.
Yeah. Okay, that helps.
So it helps a little bit. Then you mingle with some of the brands. Then you move over to America, and then you try to figure out, okay, what do they need to do differently here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't buy the same way. Meaning we
That's
Americans.
interesting. That's
right?
interesting.
Because now, so then you try to figure out, okay, what is the culture that needs to come over? But then now we are in an era of technology.
Yeah.
So then how do we match technology with the culture? And how do we use each other in order to sell? Because we are in the commerce business.
Yeah, that's right. We're in the
So,
commerce business.
Culture and commerce together.
Very
Wow.
interesting.
Vanessa, could you talk to a little bit about how luxury brands kind of operate a little different from your traditional brand? There's got to be a ton of different variations of specifically what they are focused on as a luxury brand and kind of this brand image and identity that they have to maintain.
So I think originally, well, luxury has been here and around for a very long time.
Yeah.
So compared to a brand that can be gutsy, daring, effervescent, here today, gone tomorrow,
Yeah.
they really have struggled to come here, meaning to still be growing, right? They were born hundreds of years ago for most of them. Now we have the emerging and, the high end as well. So
Yeah.
we have to think of multiple different strategies, but they need to really take care of their customers.
Yeah.
Right. And they have an enormous spread across the world. So multi-language, multiculture,
Not easy.
absolutely everything. And yet, through that everything, they need to be hyper specialized.
Yeah.
And they need to bring the comfort. They need to bring the experience. They need
Right.
to make everyone, whether you are in South Korea, in Korea, whether you're in Japan, whether you're in Dubai, whether you are in New York, whether you're in London or Dallas,
Yeah.
every single different buyer is looking for something different.
Yeah.
But across all of that, they want to feel known, they want to feel appreciated, they want to know that they will carry with them something that will give them a little bit of a stature.
Yeah.
And so across all of that, we still need to deal with those culture changes.
Yeah.
Right. So those large brands and that have the house of brands quite often that have multi-brands, you don't sell a Gucci the same way you will sell a Sephora.
Yeah.
Yet it is under the same, right? And so you have to adapt. I think for us, that's how we came to that, is a little bit of culture, a little bit of commerce, a lot of understanding, and an enormous amount of technology. And that's why
like it.
Shopify has been ideal lately. And we would love to keep growing that capability to serve those brands.
Love
Amazing.
It. Love it.
Absolutely amazing.
Okay, so this totally makes sense to me. And it seems like maybe especially crucial for luxury brands who are selling, really expensive items, and being able to meet those needs to people in various different cultures and places and giving them essential care that's going to help them have that same feeling of stature wherever they are. Talk to me about what you guys at Allure do, like for brands in a more practical way. Like, fill it out for me. Somebody comes to you, start working with them. What does that look like?
Study them, understand them, spend a lot of time trying to figure out what are their pain points, where are the friction, what is happening with their consumer base, because we have to show them that we understand what the risk is that they will take by taking a new endeavor. It's super important that they feel confident that a company will actually understand their end consumer, but what could it be if they end up losing that customer or spending too much time on the POS or online, not having the right inventory or not being recognized when they walk in, right? So we need to know, and the company needs to know that will be crucial. And so that's the first step of confidence. And that's what we start with, a very deep analysis with some background. Obviously, AI is there as well to help.
Yeah.
And then merging all of that into an experience, even for them.
Wow.
Interesting.
How do you think about kind of LTV and CAC when it comes to luxury brands? Because you're kind of balancing two different edges here of performance, and then you're also trying to balance the brand image of that luxury brand. while pushing that LTV forward, while trying to maintain that CAC. How do you think about that moving forward for brands?
I think what we're trying to do is make sure that it's optimizing.
Yeah.
So because the end will be the touch, will be the smell, will be the door being
True.
open for you. That's the end goal.
Yeah.
Right. So whatever is being used towards that, bettering that experience, is the technology. So you have LVMH that spend billion in training their consumer reps, right? And part of it will be with AI, but part of it is still the way you dress, the way you greet someone, the way you get to understand who is the person that comes in front of you, how to upsell them, and etc. So all the technologies are coming together. Lots of money is being poured in to keep that interaction with the end consumer, whether it's online, whether it's in the store, whether you're in the airport, whether you are, traveling, whether you're buying something for your better half. All those touch points will need technology, but at the end of that technology, you will have a human. And I think that's how, if we can make that technology as invisible as possible, and just make sure the human is there to reception. And that's again what Shopify does or helps us do and build on top of, to keep that invisibility but deliver.
I love that.
Okay, I love
that.
this.
I love that. You can go. You can, Chris.
No. I love this.
I didn't create it. You can reuse it anytime you want.
All right. We're gonna steal that one.
We're gonna steal that
one. So what you are hitting on here, the intense humanness that I think of with luxury. It's the smell. It's what it feels like.
Yep.
It's the feeling inside when I put it on, when somebody notices what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
They know the name and maybe they don't mention to me, but they whisper about it over here. You see what she's wearing. Luxury, it feels so intensely human to me, but it's the merging of that, the scarcity, the intense humanness that surrounds luxury, but then merging that with AI and the technology and then helping that remain hidden. So there's such a luxurious feel.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine your team when you're working with clients. I can only imagine there's a lot of talk about this.
Yeah.
How do we leverage the technology here, but make it feel keep it hidden, make it feel so human and luxurious as this whole process happens. I mean, what do those meetings sound like?
Well, if I can take one, for example, a lot of the brands they need to keep their ideology alive.
Yeah.
And they are really human based. So, and some are public companies, right? So they can't describe, or they want a VAT to not use too much AI, right? So for them, it cannot be so front facing, but they have a lot of different optimization that can be done in the back. So for example, it's going to be, it's agent to agent, right? So someone may just, and it's part of luxury, decide to wake up in the morning and say, can you just make sure there's let's say a Gucci bag or a Louis Vuitton case available for my departure tonight? Talk to their agent. The agent is going to go and question the different Vuitton store around, talk to the agent of the Vuitton store and say, hey, I really need this for tonight. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. On that size? Yes, we do. In that color? Yes, we do, which is really brown and gold, but
all right.
Yes, we do, right? And then the agent, personalized agent, will say, hey, I found one and I'll send the chauffeur to go and get it. That is also luxury. And that will be luxury going forward. But the trick will be, how do the brands keep training their agent to actually be able to grasp that what does luxury for a human means and is like, and how does this will talk to the agent of the consumer, and how will they together make the deal and the sale.
Fascinating.
We're talking a lot about luxury. What does it take to break into luxury? Chris and I, we want to break into luxury. We want to be the most.
Maybe
we want to be the most luxurious hosts in the world. How do we?
Hey, you just get the World Cup. Don't go too
World
fast.
Cup. There we go. World Cup. Okay.
Give it some time.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
That's true.
joking.
What does it take to break into luxury as a brand?
All right. I think it's a great question. Not everybody wants to hear it, but first it's time. I think
Totally.
we've got to understand and agree that, I'm going to quote, Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah,
They
it's
come
true.
from afar. They have made a lot of experiments. They are not risk takers. Maybe internally they will be, but you need to give it time. You need to find the right people to speak to. And I can tell you, there's a lot of Shopify evangelists within those brands. You just have to find them and try to bring them over to your
Interesting.
side. They are, because either they shop on other stores that
Yeah.
are on Shopify, and
Yeah.
they're like, hey guys, we need to also bring it here, right? So that's one of the thing. It's time. An SMB or a startup will just make a deal, without a couple weeks. The sales cycle maybe a couple months. With luxury brand, it's time, because it's also trust and technology.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you have, especially with Shopify, that has not for many years been the top product for luxury. It's changing. The narratives are changing, and it's allowing us now to really come to the big brand and say, we can do it. It's flexible, but you need the technology capability to actually speak on the Shopify level of technology. You need to know the ins and outs of Shopify. You need to be able to turn it over and say, okay, this may not be right there perfect, but we know how to make it perfect with Shopify. And so I think that's a really important part, is being top in technology, because you will gain their trust. And last is, like I started to say, you need to know what it will cost them if you fail.
Oh.
And that is not often. The agencies come in and out.
Yeah.
They don't fully invest their underwear in it.
Yeah.
And they need to know that you are in it with them.
Totally.
If you fail.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they fail. And you need to know that how big of a deal it is, because their brand is the most important thing for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And, Vanessa, I just find you so interesting. I find you so
I'll
interesting.
come back on your show anytime.
because
You tell me.
well, you genuinely are. I mean, when I meet you, when we talk, work with LVMH, like whoever, just all of the names, I totally believe it. And then on the inside, you've got this like AI tech forward, all of this going on the inside. Tell me this: people want to find you, follow you, get involved with Allure. What's that process look like? Where should people go, find you, talk with you, etc.?
LinkedIn.
Go to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn.
Everybody go to find Vanessa Nugent on LinkedIn. Vanessa, we appreciate you making the time
I
to
love
join
being
us.
here. Thank you for inviting me.
Look forward to
you so
having you
much.
back.
Thank you.
Vanessa.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Now, it never stops. And that's what we love about
It
being
never stops.
here at Shopify.dev. We have the one and only Tamir Eden, co-founder of 40, coming inside of the show right now. Everybody, welcome Tamir. Tamir, welcome to the show, brother.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you making the time to join us. Tamir, if I'm correct, brother, I think, man, you're building AI storefront capabilities, et cetera, for brands like Steve Madden and some of the biggest brands on the internet in the world. Man, we appreciate you making the time to join us. And I'd appreciate it if you'd just give us a little background on 40 and fill out what I just started with there. What do you guys do, and the different things that you bring to the partners and merchants that you work with?
Of course. So first of all, my name is Tamir Eden. Been building in Shopify for the past 15 years.
Wow.
My previous
Awesome.
company was Rise AI. We powered store credit and referral and returns for leading brands also. It was acquired by Wix in 2021.
Incredible. Incredible. That's awesome.
Huge
man.
flex. Let's go.
And with 40, we saw the opportunity to jump on in agentic quite early. So we founded the company less than a year ago. We saw that demand coming from ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, everyone, and how customer behavior changed following those agentic apps. Understood that e-commerce would need some kind of layer to
For
adopt.
sure.
And we started with that. We started with the data layer. So our first app with 40 was Agent IQ. We basically looked on Shopify catalog, which everyone discusses quite a lot here today.
Yeah.
And we get listings of brands ranked inside that catalog. So the catalog is consumed by ChatGPT and all other agentic apps that are currently developed. So that's the first step of what we've built. Tomorrow, as you said, we're launching something new. So we're in an AI world. We need to move fast and do a lot of things.
What's coming new? I mean, can we tee that up?
Can we tee that up?
I mean, what's
coming down?
new?
So it's very visual. We can't show it here, so you need to come to the demo to see it.
Okay. All right. We got to come to the demo.
But
for sure.
it's a new kind of storefronts. We understood that brands and DTC, so they won't just, people won't shop in ChatGPT. We didn't believe that instant checkout and everything moving into chats would be a thing. We really believe that brands that own the trust, they have the customer expertise, so they would need new kind of offering on the website.
Yeah.
So what we built is a new kind of website. We call it agentic stores.
Agentic stores.
And it keeps the brand narrative, tone of voice, design system, UI, like it is in the website. But the website is not static anymore. It's an agent. It can adapt to your intent.
Fascinating.
And everything is changing as you converse with it. So it's really adaptive and ready for the world where agents are present inside our browser or wherever.
Love it.
So I mean, you're talking about fully customized UI, personalized to every single individual via agentic.
Under 3 seconds with every turn.
Stop. Under 3 seconds?
3 seconds is crazy.
That's wild.
That is wild.
That's wild.
It's quite impressive to see for the first time. We are figuring out with leading brands what is the right time, but how do we do the transition? So we're not replacing websites yet, but we do want to start developing those interactive agents inside the experience that is already existing. So funnels, replacing quizzes, landing pages, post-click experiences, agentic first, and then brands can learn much more when they converse.
Crazy.
Wow. That's bananas. I mean, could you just back up a little bit for me? If a brand is listening to this, thinking about this, how should brands be thinking about agentic right now in 2026? How should they be thinking about ranking for LLMs? These types of things where they just want to kind of establish that foothold and move towards the right path forward for what you're building.
So there's quite a lot of noise in the market with what brands need to do and what to adapt first. We think that you should look on the source of truth. So it's for us, it's the Shopify catalog. The agentic channel in Shopify is showing for brands already now in the admin if their products are ranked for specific queries.
Yeah.
Using apps like ours in 40, what you can do is optimize per intent. So if we're selling energy drinks and we want to promote it for festival, people buying energy for festival parties, we can inject the intent into the agentic listing, make it surface when searches happen, thus growing the demand for those intents. So we need to understand how your buyer persona and customers are searching and prompting, and eventually having your listings adapted to that.
Wow.
That's the first step. I would say.
Wow.
Do you find like what's happening with the catalog? Is that like what excites you most that's going on with Shopify right now? I mean, just like
No, it is. I think the catalog is quite a remarkable achievement in technology. I come from the technology side a lot, so playing with it for the first time was very impressive. Like you can ask anything and get quite good curation of results. Shopify only return 10 products or 10 results per query. So eventually you want to be in those top 10. And it offers developers to build any kind of experience around it. So,
True.
It's potentially some kind of a new marketplace. It can be on the store level or the global level of all of Shopify. And I think that they are leading, like you look at anywhere around, no one is building that kind of stack right now.
Agreed.
Definitely the best way for agents to provide e-commerce solutions.
Wow. So why are you as a partner coming to DotDev? Is this your first DotDev?
No, not at all. I think my fifth or sixth.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Yeah, since
Let's
of
go.
the Unite days to Editions to .dev these days.
Let's go. Let's go.
So I love the ecosystem. Like there's good collaboration.
Absolutely.
Even in the competition, like if there's things that are competing, there's still a lot of good intentions.
Yeah.
You get to work with the best brands. So I love D2C brands. I like what they bring to the world, and I think that being able to provide technology to them is like interesting for me. To
Totally.
other things, and a lot of friends. Like I'm coming to Toronto to meet friends eventually. I know a lot of people inside Shopify and from agencies, and I like collaborating with them. It's the reason I'm building the third company in this ecosystem right now. Yeah, it's been quite a ride.
Yeah, Chris and I were saying before the show, the vibes here are off the charts.
They are.
They are off the charts for all things Shopify. You get to talk to people that, I don't know about you, but I have, normal other people in my life where if I try to talk to them about what I'm doing, they're like, that's okay. Here, you can fully nerd out and talk
Exactly.
all things that you absolutely love about Shopify. And people are like, yeah, I love that. Let's talk more about it. It's super exciting. I think it's one of the best parts.
Yeah.
Tamir, tell me this, like, how do you see websites or what we think of them? How do you see this like continuing to develop over the coming years? I find it so interesting what you guys are working on, debuting a personalized shopping experience of sorts.
Crazy.
Coming from an LLM to this experience and it being personalized while still maintaining brand ethos and all this kind of stuff. Like, is this where the internet is going in 5 years? I mean, it seems so interesting to me.
It's really hard to guess these days because the pace of innovation is so remarkable. Like you see products coming out from every direction. I think the narrative is that LLM is powerful. Like we use it for every day. We adopt it a lot. But you look in the web, so Google changed a lot. Added AI mode, added AI overviews. It's potentially the biggest change in 2 decades in 1 year.
Yeah.
And it's because of AI. And so you want to bring this kind of experience to the brand or website world, not only for brands entirely, but we're speaking about Shopify brands right now. And we figured out how to enable it. So the brand has its own voice and design and best practices and guidelines that we are using. But eventually what powers the website is not a CMS anymore. It's an LLM behind the scenes. And the experience is similar to like interacting with AI. So me and you will get potentially different results. And the brand can be much more tailored for what you look on.
Interesting.
You talk a little bit about on your website specifically that brands that work with you have a 20% increase in AI traffic within 2 weeks. That's absolutely bananas. That's an incredible statement to have on the website. What are some of like the structural things, the smaller things that you're doing to push that up to 20%?
So I think when we look on visibility or AI ranking, there's two main sources. So one type of effort is getting brand mentions.
Yeah.
What we wanted to do is getting your product selected.
Yeah.
So eventually with the catalog, once you figure out how it works, you want to be for specific intents, specific queries that you feel that bring the audience to your website, you want to be first or at least at the top 10.
Yeah.
So this is what we do. We first of all audit the catalog data. We see quite a lot of usage in different variations of how catalogs are structured. So we first of all clean that up, map the gaps, help you figure out what to fix first. And then the catalog is presenting an agentic listing. We only edit those, we inject the intents, we immediately see more sessions coming through. Conversion rate on those channels is bananas today. It's like 3 or 5x over organic traffic. So once we get for specific intent your product listed, you see traffic and revenue starting to flow. Across the board, we see quite a lot of growth quarter over quarter. In 2026, 70% growth on sessions from quarter to quarter for most of our brands. Already 30% of brands we work with seeing significant revenue and growing. It's not significant. It's still in the low numbers, but it is growing quite fast.
Wow.
It's
That's
fascinating.
absolutely incredible.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Tell me this, Tamir. What would you say? What would you say to? There are some naysayers out there who are still saying, "Oh, agentic commerce, not that big of a deal, maybe in a number of years." What would you say to them?
So I think commerce as an ecosystem is like, it's multi-channel. You have TikTok and Google Shopping and everything is going on. So agentic is eventually one more. The pace of technology development in the past year or two, the amount of software that is being developed, our usage with software, we just expect everything to understand us and to act on what we do. So it's so intuitive. The adoption is through the roof. I believe that brands that would fail to adopt agentic would stay behind.
Yeah.
I'm coming from the software world. If a developer will tell me that it's not working with an agent right now to develop software, he's not hired. So that is
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good word.
I love that.
That's a good word. We love it. Well, Tamir, man, we appreciate you making the time to join
Absolutely.
us. Man, where should people find you, follow you, man, work with 40? What does that look like? Where can people talk to you, et cetera?
So on Twitter, on X, my name is Tuki, Tuki. You can follow me there.
Let's go.
40 is quite easy to spell, 40rty.ai. That's our website, and our Shopify app 40 also. The team is all over here. We have 4 people here on the floor, so you're more than welcome to come talk to us. And thank you very much for hosting me. It was a real pleasure, and I love your work, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so
man.
much.
Appreciate you joining. Thank you. Wow. Incredible.
Incredible vibes here at Shopify, just from the couple of partners that we've had the pleasure of talking to. I mean, just really incredible insights that we've been able to pull just from those few.
Absolutely. Speaking of incredible, I would like to share some of your incredible battery that you have coming out of your laptop.
Yeah, I got you.
It's time for me to get some of that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that. We're good to go. Technology's beautiful.
Is amazing. And look
That's
at
why
that.
we're here.
Now I'm back up.
Now we're here.
I'm back up. And we're still here making it happen at Shopify.dev in Toronto, Canada. I feel like if you are a partner in the ecosystem, service side, development side, app, like, is there anywhere that you'd rather be right now?
Yeah, this is the move. I love the fact that it is. I wish we could show the room. We could show everybody.
The room is looking awesome.
Everybody
right now.
walking around. People are talking. They're having chats. And I really do think I want to make an intentional point about this. Is like, this is the place where you can nerd out about all of your favorite things.
You can nerd out
Shopify,
here.
and everybody will nerd out right back with you, and be like, "Yeah, here's this cool little fun little hack that I figured out." Blah blah blah. And you get to understand, like, really the people that are in the ecosystem operating.
Can I also just say I feel like Nate Rosen would be happy right now. Your CPG sommelier on the interwebs. The CPG snack allotments over here, the snack bar,
So many.
quite good.
Yeah.
Quite good. We need you. We need you up here,
A
bro.
little more.
We need you up there.
Yeah, I need me
We
up
do.
here.
We need you up there. As we take a little break here, there's some more happening on the timeline today that I feel is especially noteworthy inside of the Shopify ecosystem, especially. We've been talking about agentic commerce, everything happening here. Another trend that we have been talking about at length on the show for months has been live shopping. We have been talking about live shopping.
You love live shopping.
And it not being the future, but
You
it
love
also being the now. There are two things happening in the world. There are several things happening, but two, especially in 2026, agentic commerce and also live selling coming to America, to the West in a concerted way.
Yeah.
I think too few people know that you can do that on your Shopify website.
Yeah, and one of the largest websites in our space, period, on Shopify, period,
Is doing that.
and their entire home front, when you land on the home front, is live shopping now.
The homepage.
The
The
homepage.
homepage. Who are you talking about, Chris and Colin? Who could you be speaking of? I'm talking about the one and only True Classic Tees.
Yeah.
Okay. True Classic. Producer Jack, bring this up. producer Jack, I have sent you this tweet. This tweet was surfaced to us by Stuart Cheney. And Stuart had this to say. I'm pulling it up on my own laptop right now. Producer Jack is showing it here. True Classic Tees homepage right now. These guys are one step ahead. Absolutely, they are. You look at this graphic. What do you see there? You've got the standard, okay, 9x16. Okay, you get the vertical video. Okay, you go to the homepage. 3 exclusive deals on cruises. Is it happening right now?
They're not doing it right now.
This must have been like last night. Or this was July 20. Yeah, so this was last night.
Yep.
This was 6:03 p.m.
Yep.
last night. Okay. I would imagine that experience was happening on other platforms as well.
Yeah.
I would imagine it was happening all at the same time on multi platforms.
Well, the way that they're thinking about that is basically a homepage takeover. So
Yes.
it's a homepage takeover for their live experience.
Incredible.
And so they are intentionally thinking about, okay, we're going to do a homepage takeover for this period of time at this night. It's going to take over our entire homepage and we're going to go live. You can ask us questions. The founder of True Classic was actually the one that was on the live. He was actually the one.
The
founder
actually
was the one that was on the live answering all of the questions. And then throughout the entire chat, the chat is making sure that they're saying like, hey, I love my tea. Hey, I love this. I just bought some. And so you have all of this social proof built in. And then you have the other layer on top of that, which is the founder of a massive brand operating directly with the customers at the most intimate level.
Okay, so a few call outs here. True Classic, Shopify brand. Okay.
Let's go.
On Shopify.
Massive.
Okay. A massive company.
Huge.
This is a 9-figure brand.
I think they're at like $500 million.
Yeah, they're doing an egregious amount of dollars per year.
Yeah,
okay?
bootstrapped.
Methinks they have a little bit of ad spend.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
Yeah.
That they have a little bit in the war chest for ad spend?
Yeah, they do a couple ads.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What are they doing? Okay.
Yeah.
They're doing live selling, live commerce.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the most incredible things, I think, especially challenger brands, people who are up and coming, maybe they're not 8 figures yet, et cetera, but especially those, what they should be doing is live selling. Why? Because all it costs you is sweat.
Yes.
All it costs is sweat. It does not cost you ad dollars. Okay. True Classic, plenty of ad dollars in the war chest. What are they doing? They're live selling.
Yeah.
Live selling, again, my thesis here is this is multi-platform. It's probably on TikTok auctions, okay? Maybe on whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Multi-platform. It is definitely on the homepage, and it is happening here and now. It's on Shopify with you. Come on up here.
Come on
up here. My friend, Guillaume.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Guillaume.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
Guillaume,
Talk to us about this, Guillaume.
Yeah, so 4 years ago, we built Live Me Up, which is the live shopping app for Shopify stores.
Awesome. Wow. Awesome.
And so we power, thousands of merchants on Shopify. And you know what they do? They go live on their store every day. It's mostly a founder story,
Right.
Founder, selling their product, showing their product, telling their stories, and so on. So it's very much community driven. There's a very high intent when people show up to the live stream. And so you were talking about, TikTok Shop and the folks like that. Actually, there's a huge difference. TikTok Shop is very much of a discovery channel, and they use live to discover, but people, they scroll and they stay 5 seconds with the brand. But when someone joins a live stream on a Shopify, that people will stay 12 minutes.
Really?
Will convert at 30%.
So, okay, so if they touch live selling on the website, on Shopify, they're staying for longer.
Yeah,
they're
because
converting better.
This is very intentional. You don't see or join a live shopping session on a Shopify by chance. It's because you are willing to do so. You've been invited, or you have interest into the brand, listening to the founder, being part of the community that the founder built on Shopify. So it works incredibly well.
Could you talk to us about a couple brands that are doing this that you're seeing that are winning right now with live shopping?
Yeah.
Because I think Chris and I are so bullish on this because it is so inadvertently human at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
absolutely.
and you get to know the brand founders so
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
Could you talk to us about a couple of those brands?
I mean, the first thing that makes a very successful journey for a founder on live shopping is it's to be consistent.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Regardless what's happening, And when you open your first live shopping, when you do your first live session, probably you're gonna have 10 people, 20 people, 30 people.
Yeah.
Your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother.
Right. All your neighbors, baby.
yeah.
And in a way, you will feel absolutely desperate that so many efforts. You spend an hour and a half live streaming, you make no money, and you have only 10 people.
Yeah.
So you feel
Yeah.
desperate. But then 6 months later, you will see that live shopping accounts for 20% of your revenue, and that you have thousands of people every time. And then you really build something on top of your Shopify.
Wow.
So consistency is the number one, and the second thing is that okay, you need to be fine with the camera,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
some
for
people,
sure.
some founder I'm talking with, they are very shy, or they just don't want to talk about with the camera. So that is for them. They need to find someone. They need just to make the the affiliation works, and to find some content creator and taking the microphone on behalf of them. But it works as well, as long as this is authentic,
Yeah.
natural,
Yeah.
spontaneous.
Yeah.
Sorry, my French. It
I
works
appreciate
very
your
well.
French.
It works very well. It's nothing scripted. It's nothing prepared in advance. It's not a TV show. It's not a QVC. We always tend to compare. Okay, is live shopping something like about a QVC? HSN? No, not at all. It's unscripted, unfiltered. It's a direct window into what your brand is.
Like that.
This reminds me, and I think I'll bring it up time and time again. Impressions matter so much for brands.
yeah.
We had Ryan, the CEO of Original Grain, on the show, and he's doing live selling as well. And he did a session. He didn't have a ton of orders in the session itself. He had $100,000 wholesale business order afterwards because someone came on, saw him, saw what he was doing, placed $100,000 business wholesale order, and then messaged him afterwards and said, I found you on your live shopping today.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know.
Amazing.
Impressions matter so much for brands, and I think this is such an easy way. Chris likes to say brands get sweaty.
Yeah,
you just got
sweaty.
to get sweaty. You just
It
got to get
is.
in front of the camera,
It's
and
sweaty.
you just got to really hammer this home and be willing to put yourself out there for brands.
Tell me this, Guillaume. So I find this fascinating about live streaming on the website. People stay longer. They convert better.
Yeah, much
Looking
better.
at 12 minutes,
Yeah.
conversion 30%.
Yeah.
And that's like crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Most of the talk in around live selling is all on other platforms, but I find this fascinating that this is now a growing thing, enabling this on the homepage and making this happen there. I mean, how do we get the word out about this, Guillaume? Because I feel like more people need to know this.
Yeah, so thank you for having me on this, show. It will help down the road. But I mean, you, in a way, I agree with you. Live shopping has been mostly, a thing of Whatnot, a thing of,
Right.
TikTok Shop, a thing of those marketplaces. And now everybody is very hot about eBay Live, So, I mean, I'm a small app, in that war of giants,
Yeah.
The reason why I'm very, stubborn and still pushing today, it's because there's a thing with Shopify. It works well. Numbers are super compelling. So it's moving over. It's gonna probably take a bit more time.
Yeah.
To be something that everybody will adopt down the road. But I mean, the track is amazing. This year, since I moved from France to New York, and I live now in the city.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I moved to the US because this is my biggest market today.
Awesome.
We multiply by 4 the revenue of the company in less than 10 months. So I needed to be here, and the market is very mature in the US today to adopt this new, life sales strategy.
Wow.
I love it.
I love that. It's
I love
incredible.
it. Built on Shopify.
Built on Shopify.
Yeah.
Dig it. Guillaume, okay, tell us the name of the tool, where people find it, the app, etc.
Yeah.
What's the name?
So the name is Live Me Up. So
Live Me Up.
Live Me Up. So we are on the Shopify App Store, built for Shopify. Very proud of that.
Love it. Come on, man. Built
No,
for Shopify.
You are too, right? So I mean, you search for live shopping. Just do it now on the Shopify App Store,
Yep.
and you will see us first place, live selling first place, whatever. We have very good ranking, good customer reviews, good pricing, free trial, everything that makes the technology very easy to access.
Wow.
Love it, man.
That's absolutely incredible. I love to hear that.
Powerful. Guillaume, we appreciate you hopping in here and joining the show.
Thank you. It was like a boom. Let's do it.
Spontaneous.
The American way, by the way.
Thank you. American way. That's right. What a great serendipitous moment.
That's the vibes at Shopify.dev right now.
That's
I'm
the
telling you,
vibes.
it is the people that are building the
It is.
right tools for this community.
Yeah.
You can just bump into everybody. You can bump into somebody who is your exact need that you're trying to build for your agency, for your Shopify brand, for your software company. They're all here.
It's powerful. Yeah, it's absolutely powerful. I think the tool that obviously Guillaume has brought to market and is winning with, so much so that he would move from France
Yes.
to New York City
Yeah.
to grow his company and his service, winsome, excelling. And I think the fact that True Classic Tees is doing this.
That should be one of the biggest indicators
Hello.
for everyone listening to this. If you think you are quote unquote like, oh, I don't need to do that, I'm too cool for that,
I'm too big for that.
I'm too big for that, I can scale around
It's
that.
for the challenger brands.
Yeah, it's for the challenger brands.
I don't need to do live selling.
You really, I would always pay attention to what True Classic is doing, because they have time and time again pushed innovation forward very
sure.
aggressively. And
For
that
sure.
is how they have been able to scale so aggressively, bootstrapped from where they were to where they are now.
So a few names here. Obviously, True Classic. Second name, BattleBox. We
BattleBox.
had John Roman on the show.
Whole team.
The whole team is in it to win it
Yeah.
on live selling. Of course, they've been primarily focused on Whatnot and building up their audience there. I think they're doing like 3 shows per day. Has become like the number 2 channel for them.
Yep.
In terms of revenue generation, even more so than Amazon, which I think people should take note of.
Yeah.
I'd like to see this leap for BattleBox to now take
Yeah.
that experience off of the platform and also put it on the website like True Classic.
They're already built for it because they've been building
Totally
towards
built
it,
for
so they can easily transition to these kind of homepage takeovers that True Classic is already kind of etching into. That's going to be their brand moving forward.
And I do think it's QVC-esque in the most positive way. It seems to me like it's QVC 2026. I see somebody's ad or whatever. I click on there. I go to the homepage, and if I lock in on that, like I'm in it to win it.
Yeah.
Like, show me what you got.
Yeah. And I also would say that there's specific categories that are home runs for this. One that we talked to was Colin Landforce. Talked about the fact that golf
Exactly.
is a home run category.
Home
If
run
you are
category
in
for live
golf,
selling.
golf adjacent, or in golf apparel or equipment, this is a home run category for you to go live. And golf equipment is not cheap.
Not cheap.
It's not a small AOV.
No.
And so there's some dollars to be had here if you're willing to get sweaty. And there's some great categories that are making a lot of money right now.
Moving forward here, ladies and gentlemen, one of our new illustrious guests coming inside of this show. We must welcome her. It is the one and only Atlee Clark, VP of Partnerships at Shopify. Let's bring her in here. Welcome, Atlee.
Absolutely.
Incredible to have you guys.
At-
This is wonderful.
For those who don't know,
Hi.
Atlee Clark, VP of Partnerships, kicked off this whole thing
I did.
this morning
I did.
at .dev, which I must say is an impeccable experience.
Incredible.
Are you guys having fun?
So much
Yeah.
fun. We
Yeah.
love
Of
it.
course we
Is this what you expected?
are. Much more.
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't
Good.
know what to expect. This is
Yeah,
my first
yeah, yeah.
time. My first time in Canada.
good.
He's
My,
pumped.
my first time across the border.
It's exciting.
Okay.
It's a big deal for him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
We
big
need
deal.
to get you like.
Tim Hortons.
We got to do the Tim Hortons. Like, can you play hockey?
I'm happy to. I'm happy to.
I don't think he can
Happy to.
skate. I don't think we want to see him on skates.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. We can play some road.
I'm ready
Hockey.
to, say like Vince Carter's my favorite basketball player.
Oh.
Kawhi Leonard.
Let's
you
go.
know.
Wow.
I'm not saying we the North, drink Tim Hortons. all
Oh
the
my
things.
gosh.
Actually, Atlee, we want to close the live live stream by
Yeah.
singing "Oh Canada."
Is that cool or no?
We
you a
kick
fan?
this around.
I love this. Do you know all the words?
I don't.
So
I don't.
yeah,
No,
that's
I
gonna
don't.
We
be
could recruit some people to
Well,
help you
yeah.
guys out.
We
That's
can.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we can
okay,
do that.
okay,
Okay, Adley. So you kick this whole thing off.
Yep.
Live from .dev. For people who are tuning in and don't know, and there's too many people still that don't know. What is .dev? Why does this event exist? Why is it important? Why does everybody need to be here? Just give us the whole perspective.
Okay, so I said this morning, but this is such an amazing just coming together of everyone who is defining commerce,
Love
right? Like everybody in this room, and I said this morning, like there's partners in this room who have been with us for 12, 13, longer than I've worked at Shopify. I've worked at
Wow.
Shopify for 11 years. There are people who have been building on this platform since like God knows when. As long as it's like the second after Toby started doing it. I don't know.
Right.
And just so what that makes it amazing is that these are the people who want to keep pushing on what it means, what the consumer experiences are, what the merchant experience are. How do we just make it better every single day?
Yeah.
And so it's a group of very ambitious people, which
yeah,
I love.
for sure.
And so we all just need to take a beat and
Yeah.
hang out.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
totally
it's like,
agree.
okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? And come together and just really start figuring out like what's next. And so that's
Love
why
it.
we hold it, because we can provide the container and the lunch and some of the people, and then everybody else comes and we have a really good time doing it.
I agree.
I mean, we have 2 more days of this. This is super exciting. We're just starting it, and this is incredible. What are you most excited about for those next 2 days?
So what I'm excited about is really 2 things. I actually just came out of one of these things, which is when our partners get together with some of our product leaders
Yeah.
and they share context about how they're building their business.
Yeah.
And it goes click, click, click with our product leaders to be like, oh, we should change that.
Yes.
And I watched, I was with Vanessa Lee, Eitan Seidman, both VPs of product here at Shopify. Vanessa leads product at Shopify. And there was a couple of realizations that they just had. They're like, we need to change that. And like on Slack being like, we need to change this right now. And it's
awesome.
like, it just makes it such an amazing thing for both our partners and for for people at Shopify. The other thing is actually just watching people from around the world. Like there's partners from over 68 countries here.
Incredible.
Which is just wild. And watching those connections get made of people that are just not like in your backyard, and agencies and technology companies from all over the world, just like being like, oh, you're working on that thing. I'm working on that thing. And then for the next 365 days, everybody just being able to like get the juice out of that.
yeah.
You know, and then we do it all again.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, anything different from last year to this year? I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
things continue to
Yeah.
evolve, but what's different?
Okay, so the big difference is that we went from 1 day to 2 days.
Love.
Because last year was great, but we felt like there just wasn't enough oxygen. Like for these things to be great, you have to both be able to consume the content, get the questions answered that you came to get, and then also have enough time to just hang out,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, let's make it 2 days and do, though, almost a similar amount of content. So to give everything more breathing room.
Oh,
So that was the big thing. And then I think we just totally leveled up the like event experience of it.
It's
incredible. I mean, it's
bananas.
crazy.
It's a
right?
banger.
It's amazing.
Banger
It's
atmosphere.
awesome. It's awesome. So I think those are the 2 big differences.
Could you
Incredible.
touch a little bit? We were watching your keynote intently. Could you touch on one of the metrics that you talked about, which is your app review time changed from 40 days to 4 days?
Yes.
That is bananas. Could
It
you dive a
is.
little bit more into this?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this thing. It's called AI.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
you're
I have.
familiar.
I have. I'm
Okay,
familiar.
We
good.
brushed
Slightly.
up on it.
Slightly.
Yeah, we brushed up on it this
You guys
morning.
don't need to
Yeah.
explain around that one? Okay, great. So obviously, as the speed to building and the ability for people to come up with great novel ideas for apps that can help merchants, we just saw this giant uptick in apps getting submitted to our app store, right? Like I believe we have one of the best app stores in SaaS, and it's a great place to build a business.
Yeah.
Right? And so all of a sudden it became a lot easier, and we just did not have the systems to be able to evaluate that kind of volume. But we really, really believe that the App Store, to be in the App Store, it is important that you go through a robust review, because we do not want any merchants to download something that is not good for them.
Totally.
And so the wait times to get reviewed just started getting slower and slower and slower, because we did not want to compromise on the integrity of the system, right?
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
And it got really bad. It was like 40 days.
It's a good bit.
It's well, and people spend a lot of time building their apps, getting them ready, and then waiting for a month and a half is ludicrous. So we got this like amazing team just to drive into this problem and got it down to 4 days.
It's fantastic.
Which is wild. So my first job ever at Shopify was running the App Store. So I can say with certainty that in the last 11 years, it has never been 4 days. So this is like, it's incredible.
It's awesome.
They did a really, really good job of figuring this out.
And it's great too, because you're speed running. One of the coolest moments for those apps is when they get to see that app live in the App Store. And then it's like,
incredible.
oh, a brand can interact with this now. Now I can sell this. Now I can actually start to earn an income from this.
Yeah.
It's a total game changer. And it's I would say one of the coolest moments for them, period, bar none.
And you know what I love about that, and why like working at Shopify I think is the best, is like that is so similar to what happens to a merchant.
Exactly.
Right? Like they can get their store up, they see that first stranger purchase, and they get that cha-ching, and it's like, oh shit. Like, that's great. Like it's really nice that we get to just, we talk a lot about being the entrepreneurship company.
Totally.
And I feel really grateful that I get to work with this set of entrepreneurs,
Okay. One thing I feel honestly, I feel kudos to the Shopify team, deserving. The way that you guys have covered the partner earning model and changed that up, been transparent about it. And you used a particular phrase that I thought was unique and worthy of highlighting, underlining: infinite pie. Infinite pie.
Yes.
And bringing merchants, partners, Shopify, everybody's on the same side of the table.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
merchants grow, partners grow, Shopify grows,
Yeah.
everybody wins.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love you to talk more about this, because I find it unique. I think it's winsome that been transparent about that. I feel like it's going to create wins all around in our ecosystem in e-commerce.
It's for me, it's like the thing that was such a no-brainer, right? It's when we think about like Shopify itself, right? Our business model, we win when merchants win. Like we grow. It's the best flywheel, right? It's like an awesome business model. And then we have this partner ecosystem that sits around it. All these agencies that go and not just like bring new merchants to Shopify, but build those stores, set them up for success,
It's true.
help them grow. It's like, okay, so why do we not participate with them in the same way? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So it's like, right, that is the correct thing to do, because we are all in pursuit of the same thing, of that merchant success. And so what is just like so amazing to think about, like we built all these internal calculators when we were building this thing, because I was like, we got to be sure. Like I want, if we're going to change, you may move people's cheese, you got to make sure it's more cheese, more pie for the cheese. We'll stop with the metaphor. But
I like it. I'm getting hungry.
I like the metaphor.
Because
I like the metaphor.
I like cheese with my apple pie.
Yeah, perfect.
But I think it's like, we need to make sure that this hypothesis was correct. And in every single model, it's like, this just makes so much sense. And there's also, and I didn't mention this part on stage, but it's not just the bringing and launching merchants on Shopify. We have like redone incentives across POS, B2B, plus upgrades, shop pay off Shopify. So there's all of these new ways or better ways for agencies and partners to win with us and with merchants. And it only helps growth. It's great.
You
love
touched
it.
on it for a second there, but the ecosystem, why do you think that Shopify ecosystem is so unique? I think one of the things that Chris and I talked about initially during the beginning of the show is the speed. The speed
Speed
of this
shipment, for
ecosystem
sure.
is bananas.
It's crazy.
I love it. I think it's one of the coolest things ever. And now I can't stand when people are moving crazy slow because I'm like, well, our ecosystem moves super fast. I don't know why you can't. What do you think is so unique about this ecosystem?
Yeah. So I think you guys really feel this while you're here over the next 2 days, is like, this is an ecosystem that loves hanging out.
Yeah.
Right. Like I talked about this too this morning, this idea of collaborative competition.
Mm.
Like every single app, every single agency, they're competing for merchants' attention.
Yeah.
But they understand the value of getting together and sharing learnings and making sure that if the person across the table from them grows, then they will also grow. It's
Yeah.
that infinite pie, right?
Yeah.
And that compounding effect of every new person to this ecosystem makes it better and more valuable. And I think that's so powerful. And I think because people stick around for a really long time in this ecosystem, that culture endures through it.
Yeah.
Right. And I keep seeing people that have been, with us for so long.
It's awesome.
And we in the old days, we were the underdog story, right?
Yeah.
And so we all went through that scrappy thing, and we all had to be like, yes, every new person in here makes it better. And because all those people are still here,
Yeah.
they bring that to this generation of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I just want to underscore this because there really is a very collaborative kind of feel here.
It's a vibe.
It's like the brothers and sisters in
Vibes.
commerce kind of deal, There's like a real vibe to that.
I totally
There's
agree.
like a real
Yeah.
vibe to that you can pick up. Atlee, just looking forward about like what's coming.
Yes.
Shopify's always shipping, pushing out,
Always doing
moving. Like
Oh, yes.
what fires you up most about what is coming, what's on the horizon, etc.
Oh, so many things.
Not
Let's
bad.
go.
So many things right now. The next 2 days. I think I look at. I love working at Shopify because nobody is okay with slowing down. Nobody is okay with the status quo. If you say status quo inside Shopify, good luck to you. We are constantly moving, and I think that in this time where things can be built faster,
Yeah.
that we are able to just like grab onto every opportunity. I think Vanessa talked a lot about this morning. I think the way that we think about Sidekick in particular is at the beginning is like, it was a little bit just like your buddy. And
Yeah.
I'm a merchant. I talk to Sidekick every day.
Let's go.
And what I have noticed even in the last month is like, I ask it sort of a basic question, and then it's sort of like,
Wow.
you know what you should do? And it just like, it actually is this like true assistant. And now that we have pulled in all of the app extensions, it now like knows exactly. It's like, hey, you haven't been pushing out anything about Smile recently in your emails. Here's like a dormant customer idea. And it's like, right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it's such a game changer across the board for all of us to find growth in unexpected places. And so I think it's like our speed, our willingness to update according to what is the most powerful technology in our hands right now and immediately give it to our merchants is like, that's always what I'm excited about.
Let's go.
The only thing I'm sad about is that we didn't get to talk more about you being a merchant. That's what I want to hear about more about.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about.
Next time.
It's a whole
Shopify
story.
always shipping. Toby's probably shipping code right now.
He's probably coding
as we
right now.
speak.
Guys, he's hacking across the street.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that.
we brought
I
in
don't doubt
our
that.
own servers and everything. It's like a
Oh
whole
my
deal.
God.
I
It's a
love
whole
it.
deal.
I love it.
Yes.
Atlee, we appreciate you having us out. Appreciate you joining us. We
Thanks
look
for
forward to
coming.
having you back.
I'm just glad that you guys could come. Enjoy your time.
Thank you.
We
And we'll see you
will.
guys at the happy hour later.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Not to make you guys jealous, but
That's right.
Let's
Okay.
do it. stop. We
It
don't
doesn't
stop.
stop. We have the one and only Helen Mood, Director of Product Retail, coming inside this show right now from Shopify. Everybody welcome Helen. Get on in here, Helen. Okay, Helen, I have to say that Shopify POS, point of sale, I think this is an underrated aspect of everything that Shopify does. You would say so too. You would say so too. Okay. So I'd love to hear you talk on this. You're director of product for Shopify POS. Most of the founders that we have on the show, and my own experience as a founder, I'm always just thinking website. That's mostly the world that we live in, and I think that's part of why POS is often too neglected in our online conversation. What's the thing about selling in person that e-commerce, internet-focused founders and such underestimate, that you guys have been working on building toward, et cetera?
Well, you are not going to find retail neglected today at
All right.
DotDev.
Let's go.
I don't know if you've seen the booth or care about expressing themselves. And of course, you can do that with the online store. And then I would say retail is the other place where it is truly your place
For
to
sure.
actually clearly and fully express your brand's point of view. And so I've been talking about a lot of examples today where brands are just doing something different. So I don't know if you guys have been to New York or Chicago, but there's this company called Bandit Running.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Bandit.
Love.
Yes.
Absolutely love.
I mean, I'm not a runner myself, but like their membership and community that they create in their retail store would make me want to get off the couch and maybe do that 5K. Maybe. But they are on Shopify POS. Yes, they're selling gear, but they're also turning their retail store into a community hub for performance runners.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And so we built a lot of these capabilities into Shopify POS because and now they really trust this technology to power their community, whether it's subscriptions or customer segments or automatic discounts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about a new feature that you guys rolled out for POS, which is basically order online, return in store. I think this is so unbelievably smart because basically what happens with me is I will return something with my wife to Madewell. We return the item, and then I end up coming out of Madewell with 6 other Madewell items. And
Exactly.
I don't know how these happen to end up in our bag, but it's great for the merchant, terrible for my credit card. But can you talk a little bit about this and how you're empowering the brands to do this?
That's right. So returning in store, I mean, it's not just releasing you from having to go to the post office, right? It's also bringing foot traffic into the store.
Exactly.
Buy online, return in store. It's not just about convenience either. I mean, brands, I think they want that foot traffic so you can discover more, you can buy something, turn a return into an exchange. We're really not done with this yet. I think you've seen us build that into the Shop app natively this edition. You've also seen us build buy online and shop and pick up in retail stores. We're also introducing retail stores in the Shop app directly. So it's that point of discovery, right? But it's also about foot traffic because what retail store manager doesn't want more foot traffic coming into their store?
Yeah.
And even pickups, as you can probably tell. Like, do you ever go do a BOPUS order and you're like, let me also get these other things?
Oh, that looks cool. Let me grab that.
Exactly. And I think the other point that's kind of like hidden behind all of this is like when you tell a retail store that, hey, I'm going to come in and return something, or hey, I'm going to come in and pick something up. You might get some extra GMV, sure, but also I'm coming. Like, how often is it that somebody walks in the door of a retail store and you already know who they are, or that they're coming, right?
It's a great point.
Exactly. So, I mean, so much of retail is like a black box. Like, retailers complain all the time. Like, why can't I just identify every single transaction? It's not like online where every order has an email address attached to it. You got to you got to kind of work for it. And I think maybe something we haven't talked about yet is just the growth that we're building into the product. So in terms of, like you mentioned, buy, return, and come to the store, pick up, come to the store, we're also helping retailers identify. So if they're not coming from like a known, surface, then you're walking in, you're totally, I mean, maybe you guys aren't anonymous where you shop, but, with the hat, but most people are.
Most of us are.
Yeah, we're building like directly into the transactions of Shopify POS that we're taking a look at that card and whether it's recognized within the shop network.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
And so we're so in doing that, you can make receipts much easier for customers. They don't have to type anything in. You're also getting rid of that really awkward. Do you ever go into a store and they're like, what's your email?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Yes,
And
exactly.
you misspell it, and then they got to start the whole process over
Exactly.
again.
So
Yeah.
there's so much toil in some of these interactions, like, having to go to the post office to do that return, or like telling them your email address. Honestly, let's get rid of that and just automatically identify you, make those receipts easy. This is something we're continuing to invest in, and I think retailers are going to be really excited about this.
I feel as we're talking, Helen, and Shopify is obviously a real part of this. I feel like there's like a certain kind of like serendipity and like magic about retail that I felt like back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s. That somewhere, over time, it just kind of got lost for me. I don't
crushed
know.
with Hollister right as you walk in there with all that.
Yeah,
The
And you're
smell.
it would wash over you,
There's-
basically.
There's
Yeah.
like a magical nostalgia for me, like about retail, that I feel like as you're describing what Shopify is enabling and enabling for merchants, like there's a almost like a recovery or a revival of this.
Totally. And I think it's more important now than ever that, not only is your retail physical location, like it's your owned space.
Yeah, it's an own
you
physical
get
space.
to, as a brand, you get to express yourself in whatever experience. You can do a basketball game for, trick shots, win a prize. You can have, hat fittings and maybe monograms or
why not?
something. You would walk in the door for that.
I would.
And I think that, like people are not just craving like a transaction, like let me check off these items on the list,
No.
right? And that's kind of what we've been sharing with a lot of the partners here today who work with these brands or the brands themselves, which is like, you got to think about the job to be done of retail a little bit differently in your portfolio. Like the job to be done is not just like swipe the card, it's a transaction.
Yeah.
It's to express the brand. And so you got to do
Like
something. So there's one, your cowboy hat is really giving me some great examples.
All right. I think
Which
so.
is like, let's say you were getting some cowboy boots to go along with it. I haven't checked your footwear, but let's say you were getting some cowboy boots.
From Tecovas.
From Tecovas,
Let's
yes. So they offer whiskey tastings.
They
If you've
do.
ever been in there when you,
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They absolutely do.
And like, what better to make you feel like a cowboy after a long, hard day?
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear
And,
what you're saying.
Online channels, you're not always going to deliver that feeling, right? Of like, I am a cowboy trying on cowboy boots.
So, I mean, what brands should be thinking about like having their own retail space? I guess I would think based on this, like brands who want to own that kind of in-person IRL experience that extends their brand into the physical world and into the like emotional experiences that people remember, taste, smell, touch, etc. I mean, what kind of brands would you say should be thinking about having their own space like this?
I totally get that. Like retail can feel like a big hurdle. You're like signing a lease, getting a landlord, putting inventory in like a corner of town when maybe it could go anywhere. But I would say like, basically it's brands that have a point of view. Like, if you're just going to be a transaction, fine. Just do that in all the channels and all the ads and everything, right? But if you actually want to say something and bring something different to the world, retail is like, it's your corner to be you. And I think a lot of brands, like whether it's a retail store that's a permanent location or pop-ups, I don't know if you guys have been to any pop-ups lately, but they are
so fun.
Yeah, they are really rocking. Like, and a lot of brands that, you probably work with are already online and they're really experimenting with pop-ups. So an example I shared today was that Luka Doncic, NBA player,
Let's go, Luka.
has his own, he has his own brand, and he created a pop-up where fans would come in and they would actually do like a basketball trick shot game.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then like it was all powered by Shopify POS. And the way it worked is that you could redeem your prize at POS with just a scan and a check. It was redeemed.
Wow.
And they
Fascinating.
moved through, pop-ups can draw like really long lines. They moved through that really quickly because they were able to like scan and redeem and off you go. Like you got it. Get your signature.
I think an interesting thing that you touched on is point of view. And I think that you bring a super unique point of view to POS because you're a merchant yourself. Could you talk a little bit about this and how being a merchant, being in the driver's seat actually shapes how you're building out the future of commerce?
Yes. Being a merchant is incredibly important. I think you've seen a couple other folks on today that, but it's just so visceral, the feeling. So my husband and I co-created a brand. It's called Backyard Peanut Butter.
Let's go. Backyard peanut butter.
Love peanut butter.
It's maximalist peanut butter.
Let's
So
go.
Maximalist
think
peanut
about
butter.
flavors like dill pickle peanut butter,
Whoa.
Mexican hot chocolate peanut butter.
Wow.
That's your customer right there.
Yeah,
That one's spicy. I always have to warn people. We sell online. Obviously, if you want to find out more, you can see our website. But
Let's
also,
go.
we sell in person in events. So in like 10 days, we're going to be at a hot sauce festival, bringing the spicy like Mexican hot chocolate peanut
Awesome.
butter. You would be shocked at the lines that come in. Like we actually had to set up our booth so that there were 2 lines. And this is at a 1-day hot sauce event.
Crazy.
And I mean, I think it gives you a lot of empathy for what retail store associates are going through, because like your job is not just to complete the transaction. Of course, you have to do that, but there's all these people that haven't discovered your brand yet. They want to taste something. They want to be like, you want to ask me right now, like, why did you build this? Like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want to try it, right? And so the reason why we've invested so much in speed and foundations and performance is that we want staff to move through transactions quickly, but not just for speed for the sake of speed, right? You guys working online,
Yeah.
you know that like every millisecond is literally conversion.
Totally.
But in retail, it's like every second you saved is that attention that you can give to the customer experience. And it really matters whether like when they're like being introduced to your brand for the first time,
Wow.
or when they've driven like 100 miles to come to this festival.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're really like giving full justice to
Yeah.
that interaction, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really where we're investing right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems like you're trying to balance basically 2 sides of the coin where you're trying to balance a winsome experience and then a super enjoyable experience while also let's convert a lot of customers
Exactly.
and make sure this merchant can crush this.
Exactly. Like the
Yeah.
other part of this too is like, in some stores, the staff are kind of like back in the back behind the counter and they're kind of stuck there because they want your email address, right?
Right.
But I think what I'm really seeing from a lot of successful retail stores and their teams are that they're getting out from behind the counter. They're not just stuck back there.
Yeah.
They're doing mobile selling. So we have Tap to Pay on iPhone and Android. We also have our new Verifone Victa mobile POS device. And so this is really like an untethering of the store associates and getting out on the floor. So as soon as you have a question, as soon as you want to try something on, they're able to just like meet you where you're at, shoulder to shoulder. And I think that's really important.
It's
Wow.
fascinating. It's
This
fascinating.
balance that we're seeing today, this theme that keeps on coming up is this balance of human and agentic.
Yeah.
and everybody keeps talking about
Very much.
how both of these can still play in the same kind of backfield.
Absolutely.
That's right. Retail
Backyard.
is human.
Same
The retail is
backyard peanut
intensely
butter.
human.
Same backyard peanut
Intensely
butter.
human.
Yeah. Thank you for that tagline. I appreciate
you.
it.
So Helen, we appreciate you making the time to join us here. Tell us, before you go, tell us what's the opportunity for partners when it comes to POS, Shopify? Like, what's the opportunity for partners here?
So I think a couple things. One is obviously like you come here to .dev, you're going to find out about all of the extensions, the capabilities, all the amazing customizations you can make to Shopify POS. But it's not just like making custom workflows for the sake of custom workflows. Like you work with all these brands too, right? Like they are special. They have something to say. They have an experience that they want to deliver. They have a feeling that they want to deliver in the store. And so what I'm hoping people take away is that they're there. These partners and merchants are here together to be strategic, ambitious, and also very courageous about their stores and doing something different. Don't just do the normal average thing in your retail store. Like make it actually special and something that you would actually get out of your couch and go across town for.
Wow.
Incredible.
I love
Incredible.
that. I love that.
Building the magic and the future of retail. Not
Yes.
Helen of Troy, Helen of Toronto
Let's go.
at Shopify. Helen, we appreciate you making the time
Thank
to join
you
us.
so
Look forward to
much.
having you
It's so
back.
nice.
Everybody, Helen, thank you.
Wow.
I believe we have a very special guest coming to us right now. He is one of the top 5 greatest Canadians of all time. It has
Easily.
been established.
Easily.
Wayne Gretzky, of course, Alexander Graham Bell, Paul Bunyan. But certainly inside of that, you have to have the one and only Harley Finkelstein, president of Shopify. Everybody welcome Harley Finkelstein to the stage. Harley Finkelstein. Harley, welcome to the show, brother. Harley, welcome to the show. We appreciate
So
you making the
glad to
time
be
to
here.
join us,
Wow.
brother. Harley, I'd love.
Why do you so many beverages?
I need more caffeine.
He's got to
That's
stay.
I don't know what that is.
He's got to stay so caffeinated.
I take about 400 milligrams during the show.
Yeah.
You're joking.
We're live
No.
every day,
No.
2.5 hours.
Wow.
I do
Yeah.
about.
You guys
400
give
drinks.
TBPN a run for their money.
We're
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Jordy and John got nothing on you.
Yeah, well, I
love it.
One Diet Coke.
Wow, yeah, you're very sophisticated. You're also wearing a sport jacket.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
we do the best that we can.
How is your .dev going?
It's
incredible.
Yeah, it's good.
Impeccable.
Just the vibes here.
Vibes
you
are
can
pretty good
see
here.
The vibes are
It's pretty good.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
You got to feel like a proud daddy.
Are you
Look
kidding?
at
This is like Christmas for me.
It's like Christmas.
It's amazing. You know, our first developer conference, whatever you call it, was 10 years ago in
Wow.
San Francisco. It was called Unite,
Unite.
and the power went out. It was 2 days. Day 1, it was amazing. Day 2, the power went out. Any of you here for that? Yeah, the power went out in all across all of San Francisco, and
Wow.
so we did what all good entrepreneurs do. We said fuck it and did. Can I swear on the show?
You
Of
can.
course.
We said
You
fuck
can.
it, and we created this like garden party outside of the venue. And I still remember like when we created these like little pop-up, workshops and stuff. People were sitting on the ground. We got blankets. It was amazing. But it was in that moment that you can sort of viscerally understand the power of this community and ecosystem. That even though we're all kind of in our own areas of the world doing our own things, we all really, really give a shit. And I love this community so much. So
That's
Wow.
powerful, man. That's powerful.
I mean, Harley, we're on day 1. What is the most excited that you're going to be for the next couple of days? What gets you the most excited, the most pumped?
I mean, a lot of it is, I think you see a lot of these big metrics, these numbers. I mean, Atlee and Vanessa mentioned them on stage today, how much we've paid out to the ecosystem, or
Right.
21,000 apps in the app store, or, the amount of people using catalog and UCP. This is more than just a company for me. This is my life's work.
Totally.
And so on a very personal, raw level, meeting all these people around the world from, just while I was literally walking from the entrance right to here, I met partners from Uruguay, from Israel, from Brazil, 2 from California, 1 from Ottawa, Canada. I mean, it's difficult to sort of articulate how it feels to kind of see partners in person like this.
Yeah.
You can do a lot digitally,
yeah.
but there's something different about someone coming up to you and saying, I'm building, this amazing application for Shopify merchants in Uruguay. And here's what I'm dealing. Here's why I'm doing it. Here's who I'm working with. People are built. I mean, the true value of an ecosystem. And there's a famous Bill Gates line, which is like a true platform is when you create more value than you capture.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that, disproportionately scale. So the more money we make, our partner should make a multiple of that.
That's awesome.
But when you see people in person who have committed to building on top of Shopify, that is not lost on me. That means so much.
Wow.
Maybe especially for internet people, when you get
Yeah,
IRL,
totally.
there's something magical about
Yeah,
it.
because like you look at their names, you're like, oh, you know, I remember years ago, I met the now infamous Hunky Bill, one of our first partners. And I'm like, are you Hunky Bill? He's like, yeah, my real name is Dave. I'm like, I was like, wow, like you're a real person. We hugged and it was special. You know, every time we do an edition, I watch what you guys talk about afterwards. Obviously, the edition is exciting, but the way you guys take the edition and you break it down, each component, each element, each product, and you talk about your version of that.
Yeah.
It's cool to watch it, but sitting here with you, I'm like, whoa, like I'm a little starstruck with you.
Oh, get out of
true.
here. Get out of here.
It's amazing. So, yeah.
Harley, tell me this. You've been vocal about catalog. I've been really excited. I think our community loves Shopify so much because of the arming the rebels type ethos.
Yeah.
And spirit. And there seems to be something here, an opportunity for new businesses, new entrepreneurship, developers, etc. What do you feel like catalog unlocks for devs that maybe wasn't possible?
Okay, well, a couple things. First of all, you always have to start. See, old friends. It's amazing. Like we see each other once a year. We give each other a hug, and then you go off and build and make all types of money and do cool shit. And then a year later, I see you, and I'm like, "How you doing?" You're like, "Yeah, I'm doing great." That's the community. A couple things. I think first of all, if you kind of go up a couple abstraction layers, you go up to like the agentic commerce layer to begin with. I think ultimately the thing that people are missing about agentic commerce is fundamentally it is merit based. It is not about who has the most amount of money, who's been there the longest. It is merit based.
Yeah.
And the best example I can give you is my last purchase. My last Shopify purchase was because ChatGPT said I should buy a tin can phone for my daughter.
Yes.
With a screenless phone. You know, tin can phone?
Yes.
It's amazing. Okay. We never would have found that 5 years ago. Why? Because if we were looking for a screenless phone 5 years ago, we would have been directed by Google or some sort of discovery engine to Best Buy.
Yeah.
And we would have been shown 15 versions of crappy screenless phones. Instead, because it's merit-based, we were directed to Tin Can Phone. Tin Can Phone has gone, I don't know them at all, so this is not a pitch for them. I've never met them. I'm just a consumer of their products and their amazing products. They've like knocked out of the, I mean, they're sold out. So like, obviously they've knocked out of the park. That was not possible 3 years ago. So one is from a consumer perspective, you're going to see more of these DTC brands get started and grow much faster because of this merit-based paradigm of agentic commerce. That's one. Number two, from an app developer perspective, there was, for a period of time, you can sort of track it. The apps that were doing best on Shopify, a lot of them started small and then grew really, really big, meaning they added more people, they added a CRO, a CMO, brand, they had events and stuff. I actually think now some of the biggest apps, the most impactful apps in the next couple of years are going to be with very small teams.
Wow.
Like teams of 3 to 5 people.
Wow.
And they're just going to have an army of agents helping them running these companies, building these companies. And so second of all, I think it's going to disproportionately benefit these super entrepreneurial teams that are small in size, but very large in ambition. And the third thing in terms of like the use case of catalog, is Sarah here? Where's Sarah? What's that app we just looked at? What was it? So, what's it called? Esemble. Okay. Literally walking in here, we looked up a store called Esemble.co, I think. I forget. We'll get you the URL in a second. Okay. So literally, Sarah just showed it to me as we were walking the door 8 minutes ago. Someone just took catalog, 1.5 billion SKUs, and basically made a personal shopper. It's an amazing store on Shopify. Really? They don't have any inventory. They don't have, they're just pulling from catalog, and they created a layer on top of it that allows you to basically upload what you're currently wearing and find new stuff across every Shopify store. I'll give you another one, actually, since we're going to nerd out here a little bit.
Let's go.
Check this out. This is called gamers.town. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this.
Holy shit.
This is incredible.
Okay, so once again, another example of some entrepreneur who's taking catalog. Okay, so like you pick your favorite game, right? Like Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, Counter-Strike, Dota, whatever. Let's go to League of Legends. Look at the merchandising.
That's
Oh,
wild.
dude. Look at this. This is like 2042, year 2042 level commerce.
It is.
Look at that.
Look at that.
It's
the whole world.
spectacular. It is spectacular. Now, like, my mom wouldn't know how to navigate this, but it's not for
Yeah,
my
it's
mom,
not made
right?
for mom.
It is for someone who's in kind of the gaming world and ultimately wants to have a really unique experience. And it's
so cool.
And look, it's all one click. Shopify.
Wow.
So you talk about from a consumer perspective, catalog and agentic commerce will make it a much richer experience. From a merchant perspective, they're going to build all types of gnarly stuff.
Yeah.
From a partner perspective, you're now going to have small teams building hugely impactful products for the merchant community. And we're like, forget like being the first inning or second inning. We're still at the hotel getting dressed for the game.
All right.
That's how
Let's go.
freaking early we are. I mean
Let's
that.
go.
Sure.
I totally agree with this.
Wow.
And Harley, I want to double click on something too. You've been
That's
bullish on AI, and basically you generate demand, and merchants will basically create value from that. Could you dive a little bit more into that?
Yeah. So back to this whole idea of like merit-based. Because any of these agentic applications that all of us are playing with have not only an understanding of what our tastes are, they have there's not even a term for it, like a nuanced understanding of us. So for example, like I love to hike. I do this race called 29029. It's like Jesse Itzler's thing. I don't know if you've heard about it, but
Let's
you
go.
basically climb
Let's go,
these mountains. Yeah. So I've been doing these ultra endurance races, and every year I want to get new gear for it.
You've been doing
And so-
ultra endurance
Yeah,
races,
yeah.
brother?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I got to keep my head busy, right?
Let's go.
Otherwise, I'll lose my
Wow.
mind. So I've been doing these races, and every year I go to whatever my daily tool is, my clanker, or it's my OpenClaw, or it's my it's an instance of ChatGPT, and I'll type in, "Hey, it's time for that race again.
Yeah.
What should I be buying?" It is never going to show me Foot Locker because it knows that last year I bought On Running. The year before I bought Norda, which is one of my favorite. Do you guys know Norda?
Yeah.
Shop,
I don't know
amazing
Norda.
brand. So it's not going to show me things that it's not going to resonate with me. Therefore, next year when I go to look for what I want to purchase for my race, it's going to show me a store that I've never even heard of before.
Love
that kind of looks like On, but kind of looks like
Yeah.
Norda, but it won't show me the same ones again because it knows I like fresh gear every year.
I like
And
that.
then it's going to know that I'm in Montreal, Canada. And it's going to know that it better get to me fast because I don't like waiting for stuff.
Yeah.
And it also kind of knows that I'm not overly price sensitive because it knows that I buy expensive stuff sometimes. So it's going to bring all this context together over years and years of conversations with
Right.
me and show me things that otherwise I never would have found. What is that going to do? It means that it's going to disproportionately benefit the long tail of merchants.
Love
And
that.
that's why I think this new era of discovery in the agentic world is going to I was going to say unfairly, but it's actually going to disproportionately affect brands that otherwise would not have got found. And I think it's going to compound.
Wow.
I think this is really important for those of us in e-commerce on the merchant side, especially because as the ad platforms have developed, he who has the greatest war chest of ad spend ultimately wins.
Exactly.
You know?
That's how it's been.
And this becomes an equalizer.
Yes. And now it's going to be the brand, the company that has the best product with the right attributes relative to the search query or the context of search that the consumer is looking for will win. And that is incredibly democratizing, This is what we all dreamed of years ago.
Exactly.
This was the dream of SEO. It was like,
Exactly.
well, you don't need as much money anymore.
Exactly,
If you're
yes.
smart and you're thinking about what these search engine, what the crawlers are looking for, you're going to get. Now it's about, can you connect a sophisticated prompt with the right product? On stage this morning, I saw the dry run yesterday, so I shouldn't have been surprised, but I watched Vanessa's speech this morning. And she talked about new attributes of catalog and UCP.
Yes.
And she's like,
so pumped
it
about
was
this.
so crazy. She's like, look, it's not just about SKU or color or fabric, or it's like, this is actually really great for humid weather.
Yeah.
This is really great for
Exactly.
Toronto in July, where
Yeah.
you may have some rain come out.
Right.
So now I think great merchants and great retailers are going to begin to merchandise in a very different way. It'll be about the use case. It'll about when to use it. Where, like, it'll track your, it'll say where are you located, where the wedding you're going to next week. Where is it? Oh, let me search the database of all the weather of that place for the last 15 years. And based on that, I'm going to recommend a different suit than what I think you're taking. And also, I know that you like to, like, this is your typical price point. I'm going to show you that as well. So again, back to the consumer. Consumer is about to encounter a much richer shopping experience than they've ever had.
Yeah.
And the merchants that are paying attention will win. It won't be the merchants with the biggest budgets. It'll be the merchants who are paying attention.
Incredible.
Wow. Harley, I'd love to just kind of double click on one thing, which is you are so embedded and ingrained in the community.
Yeah.
I don't know any other president in the world that is supporting the merchants like you do, engaging with people like you do, and being there for merchants. Where does that come from? Why you're so many years into this and yet you're still doing it? Where does that come from?
Same place it comes through for you guys. You guys can do a lot of things. Your opportunity cost of doing this podcast is very, very high. You guys can get big jobs, big companies making big salaries that is guaranteed. I know you guys do very well, but entrepreneurship is never guaranteed.
Sure.
It's true.
You're doing it because you love this stuff.
It's true.
Yeah. Shopify is a deeply personal endeavor for me and Toby and the team. Deeply personal.
that.
And part of it is where I come from. I'm the child of immigrants. My father was a refugee. My grandparents, Holocaust survivors, come to this country in the
Incredible.
50s and couldn't get a job. Like most good immigrants that can't get jobs, we start small businesses.
Yeah.
We don't call it entrepreneurship. We call it survival.
Survival.
But what it is truly entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
And I think ultimately entrepreneurship for all the people here and all the people watching is deeply personal to us. It is the great equalizer. It doesn't give a shit about what your last name is or where you went to school. It cares about how much value you're creating for the people buying your product. Does someone want to give up their hard-earned salary to buy the thing you are selling to them?
Yeah.
So in many ways, you guys may have heard the story, but when I was 13 years old, I wanted to be a DJ. Nobody would hire me. So I started my own DJ company.
Let's go.
And when I was 17, my dad wasn't around anymore. I had to support myself. I started a t-shirt company. Entrepreneurship is deeply personal to me, not because of the t-shirts or the DJ product I was delivering, because it allowed me to solve the problem that I was facing. I was store 137 on Shopify back in 2006. I was in law school, had to support myself. I met Toby at a coffee shop. He was transitioning from selling snowboards, selling software, and I became one of the first people to use what would become Shopify. And it changed my life. It meant that I was able to go to school, earn my law degree, but also pay the bills, help support my sisters and my mom. And so the fact that Shopify, the company that I found, also happens to be the world's entrepreneurship company, feels right. It feels right. It feels like everything I've been doing in my life has led me to this company. And so it is deeply personal. And part of the reason that this community is so important to me is because in a similar vein, in the early days of Shopify, we couldn't build everything ourselves. There was no way for us to give 100% product market fit to every merchant that was using Shopify in the early days. So we leaned on a community of entrepreneurs, and we made it so that they can also make real money building on top of Shopify for the merchants. And 20 years later, that's still the case. And I'm super proud of guys like Andrew at Klaviyo, who built $1 billion company on Shopify. But I'm equally proud of I met someone earlier today, this guy Alex from Montreal, who has a single app. He's by himself, literally in his mom's basement, his parents' basement.
Let's go.
And he's just grinding, but he's paying his bills. He's building a company. And I asked him, what is his goal for the year? And he's like, I want 1,000 installs. And I'm equally proud to watch him build as I am to watch Klaviyo build. And our job and my job and Toby's job at Shopify is to create the opportunity so that people can build on top of what we've designed. And as commerce and retail advances and innovates, there should be more opportunity for all of you. And so this is life's work shit for me.
Wow.
I can say
fired up right now.
Colin's family, my family, a big reason why we have careers and feed our families is because Shopify exists.
Exactly.
Mine too.
Exactly.
We appreciate what you do. We appreciate you making the time to join us.
What you guys have done is you've taken something that no one could have business planned what you guys have built, Ecomm Cowboys. There's no way. There's no like you couldn't have written a business plan in college and be like, here's what I'm going to do.
I think that's right. I think you are right on that.
But it works because, we had a bunch of keynotes yesterday. And Chrissy Forte gave this amazing keynote where she talked about this new quotient. So you have the emotional quotient, EQ.
Yeah.
And of course, you have the intellectual quotient, IQ.
Yeah.
But she talked about a new quotient called the give a shit quotient. And one of the things that is remarkable to me about Shopify, but also this community, is there's a very, very high give a shit quotient.
Yes.
You can't architect that. That has to happen organically. That's like a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
And and a lot of companies screw it up. They have that high give a shit quotient, and then they get greedy, or they become overly scripted, or they say, you know what, I'm just going to start building everything on our own. And I'm very proud that Shopify, as we evolve, this community, the pundits, the reporters, the media around this community, we've all evolved together. And when you guys, hit your next metric, your families will be cheering, you'll be cheering, and Toby and I and our team at Shopify will be cheering for you as well. We're so grateful for what you guys do.
That's good.
Wow.
Thank you. We
Wow.
really appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Harley.
Your pleasure.
Harley Finkelstein, president of Shopify. Thank you for joining us, brother.
It's an
and
honor.
thank you for putting this on. We're an honor to be here.
It's an honor, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. Oh, what?
Unreleased merch.
Unreleased merch.
Sick, beautiful, well done. You'll see
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
Oh, and see you all at Block Party. Block Party is going to be insane.
Let's go.
Block party. Can we
Block
have?
party.
We need a round of applause for the one and only Harley Finkelstein. Thank you, brother. Wow. Block party is going to be insane. I'm going to be there. I think we're all going to be there. And wow,
Unreleased merch too.
My heartstrings have been pulled on a little bit here. This was a very touching.
You're just giving it back to me.
Oh, you wanted me to put it over. Okay. Yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible. I believe now it just doesn't stop.
We don't stop.
DotDev.
We don't stop.
Shopify, Toronto, Canada. Just doesn't stop. We must welcome inside of the show Vanessa Lee, VP of Product. Vanessa, get in here. Vanessa, that keynote
was incredible.
That keynote this morning, I think that should have been recorded and gone viral upon the interwebs. I think all of the e-commerce community needed to hear that. So you were headlining this morning talking about trust. A lot of incredible stats you dropped on us about like agentic commerce converting 80% better than organic search, etc. Many crazy things. But I'd love it if you would just start here and talk about trust and why you landed there, why it's so important inside for merchants, for partners, etc., in the context of what we do in the ecosystem, etc. I'd love for you to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, when I was thinking about what should I talk about? I mean, there's so much change happening right now. So when I was planning this talk, I was like, I have to give all the updates because I feel like people don't get to see the movement and the traction like we do. We keep very judicious numbers on it. So we want to share that, but also at the same time, I think sometimes lost in all the AI is like, well, what is the same? What doesn't change? Right? Because I think that sometimes we overblow a lot of technology. AI is probably not that overblown at this point. I think we know it's going to change a lot of things. Yeah. But then it's also important to remember, like, at the end of the day, there's a human on the other side of the agent, right? And then in order for us all to weather this, we got to think about what stays constant. What is, like, I tell my teams all the time, like, figure out the fundamental truth, the thing that doesn't change. And then once you understand it, then you can build up from there. And that's how innovation's born, right? Other than that, it's just cargo culting, like in the industry. So when we thought about that, I was like, okay, great. This is my chance to reset with everyone in the community of like, remember what the fundamental truth is here. It's trust is a requirement and underpins every transaction. If there's no trust, then there's no purchase.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, I wanted to take that step back because if you understand that, then you can better understand the trends that you're seeing. So when you're looking at like, well, why isn't it taking off? How do we all as a community attack? Is there new types of shopping experiences we can build? You have to start from the place of like, okay, well, what might trust look like between a customer and the merchant? And how do we rebuild that trust in different formats now that we have more tools in our tool belt? So it was a little bit of like I don't know, what I tell my teams, sharing that with you guys, trying to see if that resonates or if there's new ideas coming out. So anyways, that's where it came from.
Well, it resonates with me because as you're talking about that, it begins to make sense to me why perhaps agentic commerce, kind of a search 2.0 in a colloquial way, why buying inside of an LLM, the funnel gets flattened and, converts so much more than organic search has in the past, simply because I'm talking with said thing. It knows me so well. There's so much context around that. There's a lot of trust inherent in that. Anyway, I'm starting to have this realization as we're talking here. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, and like trust gets built in so many ways. First, that's what I was trying to draw this morning. First, I know you, I can see you. Okay, you look trustworthy. It's like your body language, where you came from, where I'm seeing you, where I'm meeting you. That all tells me is this person trustworthy?
Yeah.
Right. And then it moved to retail, where brands really went pretty high on marketing as their one-to-many way of building trust, right? There's retailers in the age of retail, from one-on-one trade or local trade. And then now we're at this place where, it's really about, to be honest, influencer building trust. That is a huge portion now of marketing spend. And then now this next one, which is we're all trying to navigate, is what does this look like when the AI is the one who's trying to broker the trust? How do you get into the right conversations where that's happening? The AI knows you, but the AI might not know the product you're trying to build.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And so even if the AI knows you really well, we've seen this time and time again. We build a lot of our own. You saw my Hermes agent up there.
Love that. Yeah, absolutely love
right?
that.
So we play a lot with the open source harnesses, and we try and use those to kind of gut check, how does memory work? How well can it know me? But then also at the same time, how can it best apply shopping? Right. And so what we've seen so far is that we are still at an early point, right? Those fuzzy attributes that I talked about.
Well, that was incredible.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see everyone take their cameras out.
Yeah. That's
Everybody
huge.
love the fuzzy attributes.
I would love to dive into that. Is how are you building for that quote unquote cool factor? Because what you touched on in your keynote was basically AI is very good at reading specs right now.
Of course.
So if you're trying to buy a camera or a piece of gear, it's great, this is the exact camera you want to get. The specs line up perfectly. But there's this kind of cool factor, this taste factor that you're trying to build for. How are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is 2 years ago, we actually started looking at our product catalog. We used to be merchant by merchant by merchant. We used to be shop, right? That's when we were not really understanding all the products in the Shopify catalog. But about 2.5 years ago, we shipped this first thing. If you read the nuggets, the tea leaves are all there in our features. We shipped product attribute inside of Shopify. So you saw as you typed in all of your product details, you would start to see the category start to turn up in purple. Remember?
Yes, I do remember this.
Yes,
I do.
And now it's commonplace. Everyone's used to it on Shopify. But when we started introducing that, it was on a journey that we knew we were going to go down, where we need to start standardizing and building a good understanding of the products that are on the platform if we are going to have any hope of AI ever able to understand that. So we started with categories. So you can automatically tell, okay, this is a camera. But in doing that, we also trained a lot of ML models internally to be able to even do that type of classification. So things what is the width of this table? What is the material of this shirt, right? We can take all the information we have and help you as a merchant not have to manually enter that in, right? So now everything is standardized to Shopify's taxonomy, which is also open source. So you can go and look at our product taxonomy.
Love.
It's always growing. And then second, once we got all that done, that's why when you say spec driven is working, it's working on Shopify because we put this investment in as well.
I see.
Right. So on the catalog, when you filter for a color red, we happen to know that this product, which maybe the merchant or vendor calls ruby, let's say, is actually a red.
Yeah.
They didn't need to tell us that. We inferred that ruby was red based on all the information that we have from that product. Right. So this reduces the amount of work they have to do to categorize and just makes them by default better to discover on Shopify. And then we're what can we do next? So this started this year. We started to look at products across the board, understand. We also have order history. So we understand across the board, where are things trending? what geos are things trending? I say cool, but let's be real. Cool is cool in different parts of the world all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So we're like, what is trending? Maybe that's a better word. What's trending in Alabama will be different than, let's say, a hat trending in New York.
Yeah.
Totally.
But we can understand that.
Yeah.
Right.
Fascinating.
We can understand that at Shopify, and we can help make sure that based on what the agent is looking for, that they get the most relevant result. Right. So the agent can issue this super personalized query to say, hey, you know what? This user really loves, I don't know, let's say handkerchiefs. I want a handkerchief, and I want to make sure that it is red and that it is like has a country aesthetic. And this person shops from New York. And then based on everything that else the agent knows, oh, this person also usually wears solid colors, primary colors. They like color blocking. They dress colorfully. That's kind of like not well understood. Then the agent can actually go and create a query that is specific to you.
Wow.
And so it's not so much cool. It's like things like, is this dress going to be comfortable for summer? So what's the fabric weight of this dress? Is it airy? Is it warm? Right? Those are the types of things.
This is crazy.
This is bananas.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're building a ton of ML models based on everything we know so that your products just show up better. And then it's our job, because we represent millions of merchants, to say this is the standard so that agents can understand it. So with formalness, we're going to start to basically standardize to agents. When you want to understand formalness, you can filter for formalness. And these are the values and what they mean, so that agents can start to use it.
I feel like everybody who sells a garment, anybody who sells a textile
needs to know this.
Yeah, and be excited about it. Especially, most of my career, I've been selling apparel, and it's all these kind of things, these peculiarities, these various this person, the context, where they're going to be wearing it, how formal is it, etc. It's all of these kind of nuances that need to be solved for, found, searched for, be able to be found in for this like new era of commerce.
And it's not even just clothing. So the other day, I was using Shop Agent. So there is an agent within Shop, and I was looking for, I'm like very picky. So I was looking for this particular like type of sponge holder for my kitchen sink.
Okay. All
All right. I wanted it to be like pottery. So I didn't want plastic. I wanted something like pottery. But I also have, because I have kids, I have like a water, like one of those like longer brushes for cleaning water bottles or bottles or whatever.
For sure.
Right. So I'm like, I want something that can hold a sponge and that in one piece, and I want it to be pottery. And I told my agent all of these details, and they found this one merchant actually here in Sudbury, Ontario.
Crazy.
I have to tweet this photo because it's like, it was perfect. It had a like cup area. It had a handle. It had a dish for your soap and your sponge. And I was like, at that moment, I was like, I'm so lucky to get to work on this, because those moments are like magic. Yeah. And if we can do more of that, that's going to help. Like, this merchant was I actually ended up meeting her. She's a small merchant, but I ended up finding her product, and it fit my needs so perfectly. And I didn't mention it because it was, to be honest, quite a long talk at that point, but we are seeing a lot more AI traffic, not just in the larger merchants. It's coming from the smaller mid-tier merchants. And that's because agents are able to pierce through into, oh, well, this is exactly what this user wants. And that's so exciting, because that means that, one, it's a better customer experience, but then two, that's where the more entrepreneurship narrative comes from.
The thing that's so powerful, Colin and I were talking about this, and Harley brought it up as well, is that this seems to be like an equalizer inside of commerce on the internet. It's not just who has the biggest war chest for meta ads anymore, but there's all this whole new aspect of like, actually, I can know exactly what my person is looking for and find some small tier merchant that's off in the middle of nowhere that I would have never found on the internet before. And here's a perfect marriage for this product and this customer. It's very powerful.
It's the thing that gets me the most joy, like seeing the catalog, also seeing the creativity, not just on how can it help merchants like my Sudbury merchant that I talked about, but also how can you create really interesting shopping experiences?
Yes.
Right. So that is wild. And I didn't get to fit it in because we were a little short on time, but I can foresee scenarios like, okay, let's say I am working on let's say an umbrella of products like UMG, Skims. Like there's a lot of people who have multiple brands. Can they build like experiences just for searching the entire catalog of, let's say, Universal Music's entire breadth of artists? They have they represent tons of artists, tons of stores.
Sure.
Can we build something interesting like, okay, well, here's a website where you can go connect your Spotify playlist or whatever playlist, and you can get a swag store built custom for you using the catalog. Because what I didn't mention is the catalog also, you can kind of paint a universe, right? So you can say like, I only want shops of this, like this particular radius. So you can say like, I want shops XYZ. And so they can say, I only want my UMG artist shops. And then within there, you can build using the same attributes and all of those predictions that we just talked about. You can build some crazy stuff. So there's like not just opportunities for people like OpenAI. There's also opportunities for people who are just getting started or people who are working for merchants to build these interesting experiences for people. That is fun.
That's unbelievable. I mean, we keep circling around this idea of the ecosystem today. If there's one thing that you could have the ecosystem take away from today, what do you think that one thing would be?
I think that I ended my talk with this because I wanted to make sure that everyone had a realistic look at where we're at as an industry, because things are changing.
Yeah.
We can't deny that. A lot of the folks in the room build software as well, just like we do, right? And we've had to navigate a lot of change in the last year, especially, even though we started this journey two and a half years ago. And I wanted to give everyone the perspective that, hey, listen, we're in a unique position because one, we represent merchants, and merchants are a very resourceful group of people. And the nice thing is like, if there is any sort of change in the labor market, we have a bigger opportunity. We see this every time. We saw this during COVID, right? We saw this during so many times. Every time there's a change in labor at all across the board, there are more Shopify merchants being born.
Go up.
100%, right?
That is awesome.
And then also, not only is there more entrepreneurs being born, there are our entrepreneurs in particular are building physical goods, right? And that is interesting because that's something that, like, it's kind of magic to be like, I'm going to build an AI product. And then all of a sudden, Pippin, who is a dice powered by AI, can send real games to your friends. It's just the most insane thing. They're like, it's just the translation between AI and something in person. And it's such an interesting space to be in. So I think like the one thing I would leave everyone with is, yes, there's a lot of change right now. Absolutely, undeniably, not just here in this room, but in the whole industry as a whole, like at large. Like the economics are changing, but now is also the time to start building, right?
It's the time to build.
100%. So that would be my thing. It's like optimism.
Wow.
That fires me up.
It fires me up.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. It
Totally
is time
agree.
to build.
Time to build.
Which is why everybody needs to be at .dev. If you're not here now, I'm sorry.
Next year.
But you better be here next year. Highly encourage. And Vanessa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, guys. You guys are incredible.
Wow.
Thank you. We appreciate
Oh my
that.
gosh.
We're in a great context. We got some great guests joining us like you. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. Coming up inside of this show right now, the one and only Eitan Seidman, VP of Product at Shopify. Welcome to the show, Eitan.
Thanks for having me. Let me get this straight. All right.
Wow. Incredible day.
Yeah.
Are you fired up
phenomenal day.
about .dev, Eitan?
I'm super fired up. The floor looks fantastic. The energy is great.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Seeing all the partners, it's phenomenal. Yeah.
Man, I totally agree.
Could you talk to me a little bit about one of the most exciting things that we're seeing right now is Sidekick and the app extensions that are being built?
For sure.
I truly think that Sidekick is the future of commerce.
Yep.
I would love to hear your perspective on how you're seeing everything.
Yeah. I mean, we're super excited about Sidekick app extension. So for those that don't know, it gives app developers the ability to integrate their functionality into Sidekick, right?
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's very really cool. So I mean, Sidekick historically has always been, all the Shopify stuff, but we didn't have anything for app developers. So hey, if you're an app developer like Seguno or Klaviyo, how do you show up inside of Sidekick? So really, Sidekick app extensions. We have a data extension to get data, and then an action extension that lets a merchant kind of like start a process. Hey, I want to go and send a campaign email to all my gold tier customers. You can ask that in Sidekick. It'll figure out, okay, wait, you've got Seguno installed for your email. It'll get everything staged and ready for you to go. And then you hit send and boom, it uses that extension to be off and running.
Wow.
It's fascinating.
Shout out Seguno.
And shout out to Seguno.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Geis, who's
Yes.
so early on this, and he has been preaching, like we've had him on the show multiple times, sponsor of our show. He's been preaching like you need to have all of your data inside of Shopify, have it there because it's going to empower what we're able to do with Sidekick, etc.
Yeah.
He's been talking about this for so long.
Yeah.
And like now this day is here. It makes me wonder, like, what is the universe of like app extensions and tying in, integrating with Sidekick? It like excites me about what is to come and how merchants are going to be empowered to do so much more with Sidekick in the app ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things is that like on some of these things, like going through an interface can be hard and it can be like challenging sometimes. And just that ability to be like, hey, I have a question about something and I can say it in English or whatever your language is, in natural language or whatever, whatever language might be, and just say it. It can be so much easier and so much more empowering. It's what we're seeing.
I love that.
That's unbelievable. I truly think the future is Sidekick being super empowered and basically letting brands one shot a total transformation of a store and then immediately hit revenue right out of the gate.
We call this guy Colin One Shot Dougherty.
You just need one prompt. You need one good prompt.
One
and you're gonna make it.
You're one prompt away from an amazing business.
Exactly.
You're one prompt away. I'm telling you.
Exactly. Okay, so Eitan, as far as the Shopify App Store is concerned, man, what has your team been focused on, and what are you excited about? What have you guys been doing?
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways on the App Store, we're going back to like some fundamentals and making sure we get basic things right. And we talked about that a little bit this morning on mainstage. So, okay, with AI, there's this proliferation, which is awesome, of apps on the store, right? It's gotten so much easier because of all the work we've done to make the app platform easier to build and AI to go build apps. But that's led to people kind of creating the same app over and over again. And so we're kind of saying, hey, copycat apps. Like, look, we want to reward phenomenal apps who are doing great things. But if you're just copying another app, we want to say, hey, slow the brakes, guys, right?
Totally.
Like, we want to make sure that app developers who are doing original, unique ideas are really getting rewarded.
Yeah.
So kind of focusing on copycat apps is a big one. Another one is fake reviews, right?
Yeah.
Where we,
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. And so we see folks doing this thing. We're like, okay, look, I'm going to incentivize a merchant to leave a review. And it's not authentic. And it's really ultimately hurting merchants, right? Because then merchants are not really getting an authentic, clear perspective of like what's happening with the app. So how do we give merchants a clear perspective of like the app quality, make sure the apps are unique, and just really have it be a welcoming and awesome store? Because at the end of the day, like merchants have to have a great experience in the store.
Yeah.
If you're talking to the developers right now, you have a chance to talk to all those developers and talk to them one-on-one. Why should they be betting on Shopify over the alternatives right now?
Yeah, I mean, when you say alternatives, like, you mean like other commerce in general, or just in general?
I guess I would say even like maybe like versus building an iOS app,
Exactly.
or versus there's a lot of places.
There's a lot of
that a
opportunity.
developer could spend their mind share and energy.
Yeah, I mean, I think a few things. I think in our corner of the world, we are just like really committed to keeping merchants at the cutting edge of commerce, right? And having phenomenal commerce experiences, right? So Sidekick app extensions is a good example of that. How do we enable merchants to do more faster? Analytics. We just announced a whole stack of analytics capabilities to enable apps to build into analytics and have a unified merchant experience for analytics.
Love that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, yeah, it's great stuff. So keeping merchants like at the forefront is a big thing, and I think enables them to build really unique things for merchants. So I think it's a big reason is like, hey, we're going to keep all of our merchants at the cutting edge.
I love that.
I believe that.
Yeah, I believe
I
that too.
believe that because You know, at time the thing that's incredible to me is just the team ships, brother.
Team ships.
Shopify ships.
We
You
ship.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen Toby's coding.
He's dialed. He's dialed in right now.
He's dialed in. He's shipping a lot.
How much he's coding? You know?
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, right now, while .dev is taking place, hack days are taking place, right?
Yes, across the street. We got thousands of people hacking.
Just across the street.
Building phenomenal stuff.
Toby's literally coding right now.
The entire team, as we're over here at .dev, the rest of the team, the rest of the companies across the street at Shopify Summit, hacking all day long.
Yep.
For a couple of days.
Yes.
Is that right?
3 days.
For 3 days.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. People we got a whole, I mean, everybody's thinking of new ideas, of new ways to improve things.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So back over here on this side of the street, Eitan, partners, and what do you want them to walk away with over the course of this couple of days? You know, what do you want them to be like at the front of their frontal lobe as they leave?
It's about increasing opportunity, right? So we talked about new incentives, right? How do we help partners help merchants grow is a phenomenal one, right?
Totally.
New catalog monetization. So go building new experiences with the catalog API with monetization coming soon. So, all about extending opportunity for partners is, I think, a huge part of it, and like a new era now.
The catalog opportunities, even Harley was just on here, and what he showed us that people are building.
It's so cool.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
It feels like a new era of, honestly, it feels like a new era of the internet.
Feels like commerce 4.0 almost. Like the final evolution of commerce as we're pushing into
commerce frontier.
The commerce frontier.
No, it's an awesome new API to allow people to create like new experiences for shopping that like just haven't existed. Like truly.
Powerful.
It's unbelievable.
Powerful. And we had the team on Eitan to come on and talk about Built for Shopify. And I think it was just recently, just when we had the spring edition, et cetera. It just seems like there's so many positive things happening with the App Store and such, et cetera.
Yeah.
It's really good.
A lot of good stuff.
Let's
incredible.
Go. It's incredible.
Eitan, brother, we appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate being
what
on.
You and your team are shipping over here.
Yeah.
Constant shipping.
And how you're empowering partners to win on the interwebs today.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, guys. Awesome.
All right. It never stops at Shopify.dev. That's why we have so many caffeinated drinks. That's why we're in such an incredible atmosphere.
You have 7 caffeinated drinks with you.
I do. And you know what? I'm only through 4 of them, which means we have many more hours to go potentially. If Rebecca lets us. Coming up next inside of this show,
we're sleeping here.
Ben, we're sleeping here. We are overnight. We have Ben Sell, Director of Product at Online Store for Shopify. We must welcome him inside of this show. Get in here, Ben. Get inside this show.
We stay caffeinated.
I revealed the secret.
That's key. That's key.
I revealed the secret here. Ben, welcome to the show, brother. Appreciate you making the time to join us.
Thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Now, Ben, am I right that you have a little do you have a little merchant experience yourself?
A little
bit?
I started building stores on Shopify 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
And I actually just built, I've built a bunch for different friends, but the main one that I built was a brand called Cotton that I've grown over the last decade. And then I've now joined Shopify 5 years ago. So
come on,
I
bro.
don't spend time there now, but yeah.
Wow, you've been on all sides of the ecosystem
Yeah.
there, Ben. Incredible, man.
Could you talk a little bit about the announcement that you made basically an hour ago about what you guys are doing over there?
There was an announcement.
Yeah.
You gotta talk about it.
So we have a whole new theme architecture that we're announcing.
Let's go.
So, I mean, I think this all goes back to actually when I started 12 years ago. This is all like super nerd developer stuff, but I was a designer and I really wanted a totally custom site, right? And I knew like HTML and CSS, but I didn't know like actual programming languages. And when I opened up Shopify and found that, I like look at this theme and I could actually read the code, like HTML and CSS. Okay, if you can't read that, you gotta get to work on that. But Liquid was so easy. It was like for product in collection dot products and for product dot title. I'm like, I can guess what this does. Right?
Yeah.
And so that was really simple. And then, but over time, we had all these different features for merchants to be able to edit stuff, and we had to move away from that. And themes got more and more and more complex. And then there were also like kind of a lot of warts. Like Liquid is an amazing language. It's really simple. Toby invented it. You know, it's the heart of all the stores that get powered here. But there's a lot of things that could be better. And so what we were really striving to do was like make this amazing developer experience that sort of goes back to where Toby started, but bring in all the modern stuff that people, you know, come to know and love about the modern web. You know, back in the day, it was like 5 posters on the internet. You click something, there's like a flash of white. You wait for the next poster to load up, right?
Yeah.
Now it's much more different. There's like, you click a button, things pop on the screen. You have stuff, data changing and whatever. So we added a bunch of new stuff to Liquid to be able to make that easy and feel web native and way less hacky. You can, you know, save thousands of lines of code. But what this is really great for is everybody is using agents now. Like I gave this talk and I asked, you know, show of hands, how many of y'all are using agents to write most of your code? It was like the entire room, right? If you ask inside Shopify, how many are using 100% of your code? Again, it's like everybody's 100% of your code.
Let's go.
You're not typing stuff anymore. It's kind of a waste of time. You are aiming it, directing it, like designing what you want. Like the quality is still equally important. But the thing about this is that like a great developer experience is a great agent experience and vice versa. And so this is great for me because over time I became a developer and fell in love with this thing. And then like now gives me this excuse to go and fund all these initiatives to like make the developer experience really great. And so we've done that, but also with the aim of making this really great for agents. We have now over 1/5 of merchants are using AI to edit their stores, right? Be that Sidekick, AI Toolkit, Claude, right? And we're seeing a lot of new merchants start with Lovable and other sites like that, right? And so we like really strongly believe that Liquid is an amazing foundation for this future. But to do that, we had to close a few gaps, and so this was some of those gaps.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben, you just talked about the fact that you're giving up typing for coding. Are you rocking the viral Bane mask microphone that went just viral?
Oh, I don't know. That is a good one though.
No,
I
you're
don't,
not doing
I
that
don't
one?
do that. That's why I work from home at my own office. You know, and I always have a room solo. But I have seen that thing. It's pretty good. I have a friend that 3D printed one.
Oh my gosh.
3D printed
the Bane mask, so you can like just whisper into it, but other people can't.
Yeah, we covered it on the show.
The official Bane mask. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that.
But yes, I love that thing now. Like now I don't even type at all. I wired it up to my caps lock key, so I just hold down caps lock and then I just talk, and then it just transcribes my stuff.
And it's like I'm
crazy.
still typing.
Like,
it's
guys,
2025.
Useless.
Yeah.
We enter caps lock and delete.
This is a huge point of contention for us because I am super coded on voice and Chris is not yet.
I am not.
And I keep making
he'll get
push.
there.
And I'm like, hey man, we got to get this. You got to rock and roll voice only now.
Yeah, no, it's wild. It's a wild time.
So Catalyst for making the change to Liquid, it seems like, if I'm getting what you're saying correctly, it's like this is enabling people to build on Liquid or with Liquid, with agents, better, faster, all of the things into the future. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's every merchant is totally unique and wants a totally custom thing, or at least
it'd be nice.
At least it should feel 100% them.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And AI is a big thing that's done that. I think like the catalyst was really, November, December when Opus 4.5 came out, and then all of a sudden opening a CLI was something that like everybody does. And you look at our team now, and you don't actually have like designers in Figma and PMs and docs, and then just the engineers code. All of us code, right? Everybody codes. Every PM just makes prototypes to do their thing. Wow. Designers don't do Figma. They're just in a CLI and they're just designing.
Let's
go.
Engineers are all
in a CLI, which is kind of crazy. So, and what I think that's like is we heard this talk at our conference yesterday about like, you're designing these things is sort of like shaping, like chiseling away at a statue,
Yeah.
But in the old world, it's like the designer would draw the statue, and then the PM would like write up a doc about what the statue should be like.
Yeah.
And then the engineers just there like wailing away with hammers, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, not like that, engineer. Redo it. And so now it's more like we're all there shaping the statue together, but we have our own perspectives because of our different skill sets, right? So I think that's like the big key change, and what I'm most excited about right now is what those tools let us do. And then Shopify's job has always been to, Toby says this thing of like the future's already here. It's just not evenly distributed. And I think like ever, like way more than now, or more now than ever, this is true for Shopify. And like we are so AI pilled, and we have access to all these tools. And I'm talking to my friends who are merchants. I know a lot of them, and they're not like, they don't get that curve as quickly. And it makes sense. But that's our job, is to like make that approachable and easy and give them all access to those things. And so that's the basis for the whole new theme architecture, is trying to improve the overall developer experience and set it up to be like first class for working with agents.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
like you're going to be coding soon.
Yeah,
You're going to be Bane Mask. Caps lock key.
I love that.
That's when I got to progress.
Do my
to.
bidding. You know,
I've done some coding.
He's done some
Actually,
vibe
on the show right now is some product that I coded.
Let's
I
go.
did, but it was without Bane Mask.
It was without Bane
I
Mask.
need to
That's
evolve.
terrible.
Yeah, you'll get there.
I do.
I mean, you see everybody here. You cannot help but get super excited about what you guys are building, what Shopify is building too. What are you most excited about maybe over the next couple of days with what you guys have going on here?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's awesome about Shopify is the ecosystem. I've been now on both sides of it. I was the other side of it for a long time. And the thing that brought me here was just like this extreme enthusiasm and Shopify's ability to listen to me. And like for 2 years before I joined Shopify, I met Toby in 2018, and then I started getting more with these different product teams who were just like looking for feedback and stuff. And by like, for the year before I joined, I think I was coming to the Shopify office like twice a week to give feedback on stuff.
Wow.
And they actually listened to it. You know, it's like they were so hungry, just like, hey, tell us. And I'd just rip stuff apart, and they're like, yes, please, sir, may I have some more? And like, you're just like going through it. And so that was really awesome to see that. And that's been the key thing, because like we have our perspective, then they have this whole other reality of what merchants are going through. And then there's the truth, which is somewhere in between. And we're trying to find like, how do we really shape things together? And so that's a really awesome thing about these 2 days, is just like working with the community to like unlock, hey, we just built a whole bunch of primitives. What's going to stand in your way of using them? Okay, cool. Now let's go shape the next thing, and we'll be here again next year doing the same thing. So
incredible,
man. Yeah, it's a cool thing.
I love that.
I can see, man. You've got merchant on you.
Yeah.
You've got developer on you.
Yeah.
For doing like super nerd cool stuff.
Also, and a shipper.
And shipping. Also like very handsome and articulate. I mean, it's this guy. He's a combination of all things.
He's
a combination of all things. Ben, brother, we appreciate you making the time to join us. Director of Product, Online Store, Shopify. We love it. Builder's gonna build,
and you're gonna make that store. I heard you before. You're gonna start making these custom stores one shot, right?
That's right. One shot Dougherty.
One shot Dougherty.
He's gonna one shot him. One shot Bane Mask.
One shot Bane Mask. I'm gonna do maybe.
Hey, can we do that?
Bane Mask store.
Bane Mask store. Wouldn't that be? That'd be great content.
Right?
Yeah,
that'd be great content.
There we go.
Shot the Bane Mask
built on Shopify.
3D printed on Shopify.
Built on Shopify.
I think that's the move.
Amazing.
Let's go. And we appreciate you joining us. Thank you, brother. Coming up inside of this show at Shopify.dev in the one and only Toronto, Canada, as we close out our stream for the day, we must welcome distinguished engineer, the one and only Ilya Grigorik. We must bring him inside of the show. Welcome to the show, Ilya. Get in here.
I see at least 6 cans of
at
caffeine
least.
in front of you.
And see, I've got more. I've got more caffeine to go.
There's more under his seat too.
I'm like connecting with Rebecca over here just with eye contact, and I think she told me we can go for several more hours. Which is
we're just gonna keep rocking.
I think I would be bouncing off the wall if I had that.
Well,
many.
And that's what DotDev deserves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ilya, okay. UCP.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Super pumped. Universal Commerce Protocol. I would love for you to explain what it is, like I am a golden retriever, like I'm a 5-year-old or a golden retriever. What is UCP? Like, what is this thing? for those of us who are a little more hands-on keyboard marketers, etc., like just, unfold for us a little bit.
Well, maybe I'll start kind of backwards, which is to talk about why it's so hard to build a thing like UCP. So UCP is Universal Commerce Protocol, which is a very lofty name if you think about it, because no big deal. Commerce is just the world's longest running trade.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's literally back to the
Good point.
thousands of years.
Yeah.
So
Very good
it's
point.
a field that has evolved to continue to evolve. It never sits still. And then here we are, we're going to write out the protocol to model all of commerce. No big deal.
No
Just
big
like,
deal.
It's a weekend project, right?
Yeah.
So how the hell do you go about doing that?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, you have to appreciate the problem first to find the right solution. So, and they're in, like, oftentimes when you ask a question, the answer is embedded on the question. You don't write a protocol. There isn't page 55 of the protocol that says, here's how you do subscriptions, right?
Yeah.
Instead, you have to build a protocol that's able to accommodate all of the weird and wonderful kind of permutations of commerce that exist out there today. And so how do you do that? You build a protocol where you can negotiate all the different capabilities. So you say, hey, as a merchant, I understand carts and checkout. And by the way, I support these 3 flavors of commerce. I do subscriptions, and I do split payments, and I accept gift cards, right? And then an agent can also come along, or an API or a client can come along and say, I don't understand gift cards. I don't know how to speak that language yet, but I understand subscriptions. So fine, we can negotiate between us this set of capabilities, and then we can perform some set of transactions. So why is this important? Because this allows us to evolve the protocol, or the protocol to evolve dynamically based on what the merchants can support and what the client supports. It's not like we have to sit there, imagine the 3 of us are on the UCP council, and we have to rubber stamp every single flavor of commerce. Like that cannot work.
Did you know this is how this works?
No,
brother. This is the best answer I've ever heard. Keep going. This is incredible, man.
Yeah. So this is the open part of the open protocol, right? Like a lot of people confuse open source with open protocol. The thing that you can read and you can like fork it if you don't like it, and you can say, I'm going to make my own version of it.
Yeah.
And then there's the open part, which is I'm welcome to participate in this. So as a merchant, if I invent a new flavor of commerce tomorrow, I can just extend the protocol and say, hey, agents, I support fancy subscriptions, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Right. And as long as the agents or the clients who are willing to or interested in doing commerce with me are able to speak that, we can conduct that level of commerce. So that's why UCP I think is wonderful. And that's why this is not the first time that we've tried to invent a commerce protocol. Right. And this is a very common problem that we have as Shopify as a platform, where we have many partners come to us and they're like, hey, you guys run checkout for millions of merchants. Like, yes, great. Could you give us an API for commerce? We're like, no such thing exists. Totally. Because turns out we host hundreds of thousands of bespoke checkouts. There isn't one shape that you can fit this thing into. Right. So this is the magic of UCP, where like we built in the negotiation primitives and the extensibility. So it's all of that is possible. And it kind of turns it into just a market negotiation.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that this is awesome for me. This is awesome.
Could you talk a little bit about, you built the UCP with Google back in January. Could you talk a little bit about what that was like, building that in January, working with that team and building this and pushing this out into the world? Because this has never been done before.
Yeah. It was intense. As often, it's not like we sat down and from a blank slate started, writing it letter by letter. This is decades of experience compressed into like we've been training for this. Turns out Shopify has solved this problem at scale. What I'm describing is not new, right? Like we've built the app platform, the extensibility platform. All of that is to facilitate all of these quirky and amazing flavors of commerce. So then how do we reduce that into a protocol? Well, we have to reinvent some of the same principles. And Google has famously done many attempts at commerce. Right? This is not their first rodeo on this particular one, and most of them have been not successful. So this time around, back in October last year, when we met with the team, it was like, guys, I think the time is right, and I think we can, like, on the 5th attempt, we could do this, right? If we put our heads together. And so we penned it with them, like did a lot of the initial work. We brought along some great partners, like the Target and few other large retailers because they bring a different perspective.
Yeah.
And that was a bit of a mad dash, because I remember our Christmas break was spent on a lot of protocol
Yeah, it
work,
was.
right?
Yeah.
And
it
then we
was.
launched it at the beginning of January, and it was wonderful because the industry really took off with it. Like they kind of they understood the magnitude of what we're trying to solve, because
Yeah.
it wasn't a, hey, you guys define how to do commerce with a credit card for a single item. You've defined a protocol where I can bring in or any kind of payment handler for any card shape, and I can
wild.
imagine how I can layer subscriptions on top. This is exciting. So let's start building. So you've now fast forward 4 months later in April, we announced a lot of new partners coming on board onto the council. So we have now Meta, Salesforce, Amazon, Stripe. Everyone's kind of banding together to contribute to the protocol, but also adding a lot more capabilities. Initially, we focused on checkout, but one of the biggest unlocks have been actually modeling the catalog, because the product discovery is actually where a lot of the challenges are. Like as much as we can talk about complexity of checkout, it's the up funnel, it's the discovery. Like if you talk to merchants, what is the number one pain problem?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
finding customers.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
There you go.
And agents are wonderful at helping you navigate and explore that space, but where do the agents find products? How do they discover what's available? And this is true at a merchant scale, right? So if an agent knows that I'm shopping or I'm interested in products from a merchant, that's one flavor of problem. Like, how do I search across the catalog of a merchant? But more broadly, if I just ask my agent, hey, I'm looking for tennis shoes, where do you go? How do you find it, right? And this was a kind of a different layer of the problem, whereas Shopify, we built the global catalog, which Vanessa talked about earlier. And I think that is just like a gift in its own right.
Wow.
So since this debut, January, like what has shipped that you're most excited about, like since then?
A lot. And so we had a major release back in April, and we're gearing up to do the next one in weeks' time, which is going to put a whole set of new capabilities into protocol itself. But if I had to pick one, I'll come back to what I just said. It's the catalog. And it's the product discovery, right? And specifically, Shopify, we have two flavors of it. There is every single merchant. You can walk up to the store, and we have an API where you can query that merchant's catalog. And that's wonderful. You can filter it, you can explore it, so you can ask your agent to find you just the right products, effectively. Yeah. But global product discovery is a much bigger and exponentially harder problem, right? Because there you have to aggregate across all the merchants. You have to normalize all of the wonderful permutations of the same product, right? Because so you have one person's size 10 is another 9.5. Somebody's blue is somebody's turquoise,
right? And
then you have to collapse all of those options. You have to normalize all the clusters. You have to put all that together into a coherent matrix. Availability, and also the prices have to be right. Like the latency has to be right. And if you look around, there's only a handful of companies that have solved this at internet scale. There's the Google, there's the Amazon, there's a few others. You can count them on your fingers. And look around. How many of those are public APIs? If the three of us wanted to build an experience tomorrow that's like, we just want to stand up product search at scale, where do you turn to?
I don't know.
There is no public API for global catalog.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right? And that's exactly what Shopify shipped, right? So over the last 2 years, we've spent over $100 million and untold number of hours, and we're still spending, we have dedicated teams that are working on this stuff all the time, and it's just available for free because we want to have a world where there's a multitude and a proliferation of agents and experiences where you could say, why not have a dedicated Lego brick finder?
Yeah.
Right?
Why not?
Why not? Right? That'd be cool. And that's a real example. Somebody built in a community.
Exactly. This is an incredible example too.
Yeah.
It's an incredible example.
It's like you can tailor it to that particular niche. Could you buy a Lego brick on Amazon or somewhere else? Totally. But it's not the same. It's not the same experience. So you don't get all the weird and quirky permutations. And I'm looking for a very specific brick because I'm actually not that much of a Lego fan, but I know that people get very obsessed about it.
Yeah,
Right?
they do.
So we'd like more of that to exist. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for developers right now, because Shopify put this out for anyone to use and build new experiences, because we would like to see more commerce thrive in all of these niches, in all of these interesting permutations of it.
Incredible. Who is building the future of commerce if it is not Shopify? It
Absolutely.
is Shopify.
Absolutely.
It is. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Tell us this, Ilya. Number one thing you want partners to walk away from with .dev. What's top of mind for you? What do you want them walking out of here with?
I'll be boring. I'll just repeat what I just said. Like, go kick the tires on global catalog.
Go kick
like,
the tires on catalog,
yeah,
baby.
like seriously, this is a picks and shovels moment. Like, I know there's gold.
Great point, bro.
There's gold in that mountain, right? And like, it's hard. You have to find and build the right experiences to attract the audience, because whether it's a Barbie doll finder or a Lego brick finder or a coffee something, but clearly there's so much value to unlock in that domain, because the world should not collapse on 3 surfaces on which you start a purchase.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there should be more. I want more. And I think that's an amazing opportunity. So if I was not busy working on the protocol today, I'd be hacking on global catalog, building prototypes and experiences.
Wow.
Love it.
That's unbelievable.
Ilya Grigorik, distinguished engineer, architect,
Let's go.
builder
Building the
of
future.
UCP, building the future. We appreciate you. Thank you for what you do in the ecosystem.
Thank you, guys.
Brother. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining. As we close out the show, what an
Wow.
incredible day
Wow.
in Toronto, Canada.
Unbelievable.
Here at .dev, Shopify has put on an incredible event that continues to roll forth.
Yeah.
Many thanks to Harley and Toby, stone cold killers of commerce in the most positive sense. Hearts as big as their chest, enabling so much for us to do our business and make our way in the world on the interwebs. Many thanks to Atlee Clark. Many thanks to Vanessa.
Oh my
Incredible keynotes this morning. Many thanks for them joining the show and putting on an incredible event. All the while Shopify Summit is taking place.
Yeah.
And incredible hacking and building going on the other side of the street. Many thanks to the partners that joined us here on the show.
Absolutely.
Even serendipitously, spontaneously.
I love that.
Well, we're talking about live shopping.
Yeah.
And more. Incredible experience. Final words from you, Colin Dougherty?
If you are not here at .dev this year, you need to come next year. This vibe is unbelievable. The people here are unbelievable, and they're building the future of commerce. And you want to be a part of that.
You want to be a part of it. And it is an honor for us to be a part of it. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be clipping this up 1,000 ways and putting it out the rest of the week. Shopify is building the future. And if you're building on Shopify, you are building the future too. Thank you for joining us. We will see you on the other side.